Oh, yeah, get that out. Oh, man, look at this. This is a recommendation I made the other day on Twitter. This blood orange IPA is legit. Oh, yeah, get that out. This is a recommendation I made the other day on Twitter. It's all right.
What's up, Jay Steez? What's good? What's good? What's good? We're about to get started. What's good is it's hot. It's hot as death in here.
Woo. Woo. Got a little sweat on my brow.
Got a little sweat on my balls.
I mean, brow's where it starts.
How come
it's not going to end there?
How come boob sweat isn't called humidititties?
Let's just start that. Why don't we just start that? Humidititties. You bring that shit up? All right. I just try to sit higher, man, because I was hitting my bill on the screen the other day.
Oh yeah.
So I was trying to sit a little bit higher.
You're good.
I just can't look down.
You're
just
good.
gotta look up. I have to do this one.
All right, YouTube land. We're getting ready to launch here. Set sail. Yeah, Raider Ramble. We need an AC as soon as possible. Maybe a swamp cooler. Might be looking into something like that. I don't know how loud those things are though. They're pretty loud.
They can get pretty loud, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna. Yeah. It's gonna make too much of a difference if we do that.
Yeah, Stacknova.
It's gonna add some humidity in the room, though.
By the way, Stacknova, thanks for following us, man. I've actually heard a lot of good things about you in the DMs and stuff, and we've been following you for a while. Really appreciate your takes and your insight. You're a smart dude. I hope you enjoy the show tonight. We're just getting set up here. We haven't started yet. Those of you watching for the first time, this is kind of a behind-the-scenes sneak peek into the show. This is not the same as the fully produced audio version you hear on the podcasting app. You will hear music and all that stuff. We worked that out. But I will warn you, sometimes the gaps while we're waiting, the breaks, while we're waiting for guests, go a little long. But it's just an opportunity for us to chat with you guys. So settle in. It's going to be a long show.
A hot one.
It's going to be a hot one. I'm hoping we can get through this first break and then bust open the windows. But right now, my studio faces, what is that? The west.
Yeah.
And so as the sun sets.
West, y'all.
West, y'all. It gets hot. Ice cold honky. What's up, prison lovers, Kenny and Che? What's up, honky? They didn't even let you out the clink yet, bro. Not because you're not up for it, just because you didn't want to leave. All right, should we get started?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. You're listening to the Pillaging Podcast, companion podcast to PillagingJustForFun.com. That's PJ4F.com. Come pillage with us. Tune in every week wherever podcasts are found. Call in and leave a message to be played on air at 408-909-PJFF. This episode brought to you by Creative Media Design Studio. Check them out at CreativeMediaMonterey.com. It's time to pillage another podcast. I'm your host, Kenny Stapler, and it's hot. It's real hot in here.
Steamy.
What's good, Che?
I'm just trying to stay alive over here, bro.
It's
trying not to pass out over here.
You're going to sweat your beard off tonight, bro. You're going to come back cleanly shorn.
Hey,
shaven.
I didn't shave before. I should have probably shaved. I should have probably trimmed it down a little bit.
Anything
might have
helps,
helped me out.
bro.
Yeah, it might have helped me out, man.
You got that Ice Cube Jerry curling effect.
I know. I brought the rubber band, man. I might have to tie this bitch up. I'm telling you, it's hot,
bro. So every week in the intro, we drop CreativeMediaMonterey.com. Some folks hit me up. They're all, what is that? Who are those guys? They're good friends of the show. Tony and Steve down there. Tony is a diehard Raiders fan. And Steve is, I would say, secondary Raiders fan. Got a lot of love for Raider Nation. He's a Packers fan first, but we won't hold that against him.
Nope.
Steve's claim to fame in Raider Nation is he used to do the audio engineering for the pregame show back in the first Gruden era. So he's working with Atkinson and David Hum and JT and all those guys. And I think it was during that time he realized he had a lot of love for the silver and black.
You're damn right.
And his brother, diehard Raiders fan. Mike. So, you know, it kind of rubbed off on him a little bit.
Yeah.
And Steve's a cool dude. I go way back with him. We went to high school together, and they're the guys that make our T-shirts. And I say all that to say this. We got a brand new T-shirt design coming.
Oh, yeah.
And it's fire.
It is fire, man.
It's a nice design.
New T-shirts are always fire, bro.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a Pillaging Podcast T-shirt.
That's it. And that's the big change. We added podcast to the logo, and it's a brand new, fresh logo, different than the Rum Barrel logo that we have now. Both shirts will still be available. The new shirt will be available probably in about a month, but I'm going down there next week to help print those shirts myself. So
That's right.
If you want a shirt,
It's a hands-on operation over here.
it's very hands-on. and we're doing that to pass the savings on to you. But we will have shirts in hand. So if you're out there at the game, come find us at the tailgate. We'll be between A lot and D lot. And you can come get a shirt straight from us. And that'll be cool.
Yep.
And they'll be available online eventually, too. These will be in heather gray. And, it's a little cooler than black.
It won't absorb so much heat.
Yeah.
I see what you did there, Kenny.
Right.
It's a nice choice, man.
But it's a cool logo. And sitting in with us today is Juice. He's
Juice.
here in the studio. He's not mic'd up, but you can say what's up, Juice.
What's up, nation?
Yeah, hopefully you heard that. Juice is in here. Juice is an original pillager. Those of you that follow us on Twitter know I've been talking about pillagers lately, and there's official pillagers, but there's also original pillagers. These are folks that have been blogging with us since day one, since before day one, technically.
Yeah, right.
And that goes back about
Right.
15 years. And, we're just proud of these guys, man. They're the ones that...
Part of the reason why there was a day one.
That's right.
Let's just say that.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here today. And we just basically started this podcast for us, man, for the original pillagers. And now all these official pillagers
Yeah.
are on board too. So the pirate ship, man, it's getting big.
It's getting big. We need a yacht.
We need a pirate yacht.
We need one of them rich-ass yachts, man. Big football field motherfuckers, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that. Lifestyles of the rich and famous. But yeah, so make sure if you're listening to the show that you subscribe on YouTube. Click that little bell so you get notified that we're going live. The live crowd grows a little bit every week, and we appreciate that too. One of the benefits about joining us live on YouTube is you can communicate with us in the chat window.
Yeah.
We do check that often during breaks. The breaks are a bit extended when you're watching live. You actually see how much we have to wait sometimes, and that's not a bad thing. That's the time for us to interact with you guys, get involved with the show. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and make sure you check out pj4f.com. Always check the latest post. Whatever posted last will be on top. Scroll down to the comments section. We got comments going 24/7 in there.
Yep.
13,000 comments since the last episode. It's Raiders talk. It's everything. There's a little bit of politics in there. They talk food, music. They get off topic. If you want to come in and talk Raiders, though, at any time, someone's definitely willing to engage you. And our guard dogs will meet you promptly. Friskies is one of them. Purvis is another one. And dare I say Dakota is a third. They mean no harm. They love you.
Or maybe they do, but
They-
maybe. I'm just
No.
playing.
They're there, man. They'll definitely greet you and make you feel right at home. So if you're going to enter the comment section, make sure to jump into the deep end right away. That's how it goes. That's how we roll.
Yeah.
We're pillaging.
That's right.
High seas pillaging.
Yeah. I wish I was out on the sea right now, man. It'd be a lot damn cooler than it is in here.
Yeah. That sun's starting to pass, though. So we got a little breeze tonight. So once we crack these windows, we should notice a difference. But yeah, we just want to set the table for the show.
Oh, yeah.
I think we did a good job. How was your week, man?
It was good, man. Like I said earlier when we were discussing prior to the show, I just got done with a basketball game. I played a little rec ball. You got to do what you got to do to stay healthy, man. Stay in shape.
Did you win?
We lost.
Bro.
We lost two losses in a row, man. Yeah. It's rough, man.
Do you guys have a name?
I'm an old ass dude now, man.
You
I
gotta-
realize this now. I'm old. I'm old, man. You got all these young cats out there running around like it's nothing.
Yeah.
No big deal. I'm huffing and puffing, man.
Uncle Che over here.
Yeah, Uncle Che, basically. I'm the OG now, man.
You
That'll
guys-
happen.
You guys got a team name?
It's like a mixture of like we got a sponsor, man, and there's like a life insurance.
All right. Well, we'll just
There's
leave your sponsor out of the show.
Yeah, there's no promotion, man. They didn't pitch in.
All right. Enough said, bro. Enough said. Maybe we can.
They
do
pitched
something.
in for some jerseys, but they pitched in for this.
Maybe we'll be in a position to do something next year for the team.
Yeah.
Hit up creativemediamonterey.com if you
I
need
know.
some jerseys,
I might have to do that. Have to do that.
And so yeah, we're excited about all that. My week was cool. What did I do this week? Yesterday was my niece's graduation party.
Right on.
My brother slow smoked, I should say, some ribs.
All right.
Fire. Good. The real way, not the Friskies way. He didn't boil them bitches. He didn't boil them hoes. He smoked them. It was cool, man. Saw some family, saw some old friends over there at the cookout. Friday was chill. Friday had Friday off, so went out to Modesto to hook up a dirt lot, who so graciously bestowed upon us 2 pairs of season tickets and a parking pass this year.
Yeah.
So that's going to get you
amazing,
into the games, Che.
It's amazing, man. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate that. I know Kenny probably told you that over and over again, but I really appreciate it because it's going to give me an opportunity to get out there and see my boys a little more often, man.
Yeah, for sure. I
appreciate that.
And
man.
between him and Homer and Kane, we're going to have seats out there. So if you're trying to get to a game and you can't find tickets or something, let me know. I could probably get you a ticket for at least face value. Hit me up. We'll see. A lot of this, too, is a lot of our original pillagers, they're from out of state.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are making the Mecca this year to see a game in Oakland if they haven't before. And those tickets are there for them as well. So that's really what we're trying to do. I also want to take this time to plug our annual Pillager meetup. Every year, the original Pillagers, we meet up at a game. And people come from far and wide. Last year, we had folks coming from New Orleans, just all over the place. This year, it's going to be a long list of guys. I'll give you that list as we move a little bit closer, maybe next week. Already got a good list going. But if you're interested, that game is November 11th. It is a game against the Chargers. It seems like we picked the Chargers game quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's a good game to pick, right?
It's a good game to pick, man.
But if you're coming into town anyways for that game, or you're trying to pick a game, pick that one, man. Come out, meet the crew. Again, we'll be broadcasting from the tailgate, so if you want to come in and maybe say a little something on air, you're free to do that too. So come find us. Again, we'll be in bouncing between A lot and B lot. We're real easy to find. You can DM me on Twitter, and I'll get back to you. If you're on Reddit, I'm user Kenny_Stapler. You can always message me there too. And of course on Instagram, both Che and I sort of tag team the DMs there on Instagram. So
yep.
We're very accessible, man. If you guys know, if you follow us on social media, if you add us or message us, we're pretty quick to get back.
Yep.
And I'm up late, bro. Real pillager hours, bro. I'm up 2 o'clock in the morning responding to folks. So if I don't get you at 2 a.m., I'll hit you in the morning.
There you go.
Yeah.
We're committed over here.
We're committed, bro.
Committed.
It's all about that fan experience.
It is, man. It is.
Should we get it started?
Yeah.
All right, let's get this started. There's a lot of quick hits to cover this week, so let's get right into it. Arden Key continues to stand out at training camp.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Enough said.
You guys seen the clips, the spin moves, the jab steps, the hezzies. He's making some of this stuff up on the fly. He says he likes to keep his toolbox big.
Yeah.
He's just out there grinding.
He's also talked about really paying attention to like all the other cats, man, all the older cats, all the vets, you know, not just vets on his own team, but just overall NFL vets, like old school guys that, you know, that did their thing back in the days. He's picking up little moves here and there, and that's smart.
Yeah.
You got to do your studying, man. That's part of your job.
For sure. And I know the counterpoint to this is, well, who are the tackles in camp right now? True, but Colton Miller, he's a big cat. You know what I mean? He's a big dude. So just getting by that guy's a win. I know they're in pads some days, just shorts the other days. But the bottom line is you watch the video on the dude, his cuts are crisp, they're clean, they're fast.
Right.
He's striking with authority.
Right.
And I think Arden Key is definitely probably the biggest highlight of this young draft class so far.
The other thing that he said is that he's not just watching defensive ends. He said he's watching 3 techs too, and he's like, you know,
That's right.
So if I have to get in there and I have to go up against guards, I want to see what guards are doing. I want to know what works. Obviously, it's a little bit less space than there is when you're on the edge, right? When you're an edge rusher, he's also you got to figure out new moves, which I like, man. I like where his mind is, man.
Brilliant, man.
He's looking to be a weapon on this team. And effective on this team, man.
A silver and black army knife.
There you go.
If you will.
The Swiss silver and black army knife.
And you gave me a nice segue. Speaking of guards, Gabe Jackson out. We'll cover that in the injury report. But Feliciano is a clutch stand-in that he's become known as. Feliciano's been the go-to guy. We like to refer to him as Fat Klay Thompson. The similarity in appearance.
Go look at his picture side by side with Klay Thompson and try to argue against Kenny, man. You're not going to win that argument.
It's uncanny. It's uncanny. I call him Fat Klay. I know Ray Aspudia from Ray to Ramble. So it's not just me, but he's been stepping in as a replacement for Gabe Jackson. He's also been running with the second team as the center, and Feliciano just seems plug and play at this moment. Having a guy like this on your line is clutch.
Yeah, man.
You know.
Yeah.
But he's done a stellar job teaming up with Hudson and KO. Those are three big dudes. They said they're creating a wall in training camp so far.
I like it. I like it
too.
I like it. Veteran, right, man? Feliciano's been on this squad for as long as I can remember, and
yeah.
He's always there, man, whenever we need him. Whenever somebody goes down, he's the first man up, right? So
yeah,
it's good to see. And Gruden was saying some positive things about him, too, you know?
And it looks like they tried to plug in Denver Kirkland there for a hot minute, and that didn't last long. So they, entered Feliciano.
There you go.
He goes to work, man.
There you go.
Marquel Lee might be the future middle linebacker in Oakland. Let's go back a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Lee's young, right? He's 22 years old.
Very young.
We both liked him last year.
Yeah.
Going into last year, we're like, this guy, he's a question mark, but we like his tenacity. We like his enthusiasm. We think he's smart. We're hearing good things out of camp. Enter Navarro Bowman, right? So the day veteran linebacker Navarro Bowman signed with the Raiders last season, Lee recalls quarterback Derek Carr approached him with some advice. DC says, anything Bo eats, you got to eat.
That's right.
So he started eating.
Tofu, whatever he eats, man.
Exit Navarro Bowman.
Uh-huh.
Enter Paul Gunther. Gunther says he's doing tremendous. They're utilizing all the linebackers in different packages. We may have 3 different linebackers on first down than what we'd have on third down. Boom. Music to my ears. Marquel Lee is smart. He can make all the calls and get us set up to go. As Bowman went unsigned this offseason, however, it appeared Lee might be in line to reprise his larger role in 2018. And then, dun-dun, Raiders signed all-pro middle linebacker Derek Johnson. Derek Carr says, whatever Derek Johnson eats, you eat.
Yeah. I like it.
What's he eating?
It's great advice. I don't know. Chicken and rice, maybe some, guys, I don't know.
Ding, ding. Lee says he's eating a lot of chicken, and he likes to eat vegetables a lot, too. So that's the diet of champions right there.
Hell yeah, man.
Nice and lean. Sounds like that's kind of a theme, is getting lean and getting stronger in camp, especially for these big body dudes, right?
Yep.
Linebackers, offensive line, defensive line, get quick, get cut. Let's go.
Man, we were just talking about chicken and greens. It took me back to that KC tailgate, man. That fried chicken and them collard greens.
Greg, right?
Ooh, man.
And Greg's going to be out there all season.
Oh, we're going to have to go.
We're going to be right there,
We have to go see what's up with Greg, man.
One thing I forgot to mention with this Pillager meetup is we're taking everybody's names. We also know what your plus ones and your plus twos are going to be, because the situation is Greg is Dirt Lot's guy. They've been tailgating for like 30 years now. And, they met up. Greg's a stellar cook. And we also have the Hawaiian Raider tailgate over in D-Lot, and they're fantastic cooks too. We're no shortage of good food.
Hell no.
But the reason why we want to know who's coming, who's going to RSVP, is Dirt Lot wants to make sure that there's enough food to feed everybody. We're just asking everyone to bring something cold to drink for themselves. While plenty of coolers available, you do the rest.
Keep them filled. Keep them coolers filled.
But if you're trying to get some greens or some of that so good mac and cheese we had.
Black eyed peas. Ooh.
And I'm going to step out on a limb here. I know this is quick hits, but I'm going to go ahead and say mac and cheese, possibly the most overrated side dish out there.
Possibly.
Because not all mac and cheese is great, man.
This is true. But when you find the right one.
That's it.
Then it's definitely.
The hype is clear.
Yeah. The hype is very clear.
And Greg got a good one. So the collard greens too. Collard greens is a cheap green. You got to really do it justice to do it justice.
But if you know, what you're doing,
right,
you make things good. Hey, it's like Mexicans with menudo, bro.
Oh, right.
Okay. Nobody wants to eat what's in menudo by itself. Nobody buys that stuff.
No.
Okay.
No.
But we figured out how to make it delicious, and you eat that shit up.
Yeah. I'm hearing right now.
Mama smack you if you don't.
I'm getting word right now that the stream's bogging down today. I know that there's something funky going on with my internet connection here in the house, or this might be the network in general, but
Maybe it's just overheating, bro. We're hot as fuck over here.
could be. So those of you that are watching along, just bear with it. There's really nothing I can do on my end. Everything is set up as per usual. This is just it's either YouTube or it's the internet provider, whatever it is, but everything's hardwired in. Nothing I can change over here. So let's keep it moving. Ryan Switzer is sharp and agile and is my favorite to land the third wide receiver spot.
All right. I like it.
I like his build. Smaller dude, cutty guy. But did you get to see any of his video, any of his film, and his drills and stuff?
I saw some of the drills. Yeah, I saw some of the drills. I saw some of the camp drills. They're high on him. They're high on this guy, not just because of his shiftiness, not just because of his physical attributes. Obviously, I mean, there's other guys with better physical attributes, but they like his potential to be that slot receiver, but also be a positive in the special teams game, man, and that's big, right? So, in college, I think Gruden was talking about it in his interview. He had 7 TDs. Wow. 7 TDs in college.
Yeah.
In special teams, punt returns.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn good. And
yeah.
and he had one last year. He had a touchdown in special teams as well. So they're expecting some big things out of this guy, man.
Big things.
Big things.
So Ryan Switzer, man, I like him. I also like Aitman a lot. I know Aitman's kind of a fan favorite right now. Dude's big. He's not the speedster. We talked about that last week, but I think he's got for sure a place in this wide receiver core. From 20 yards in that red zone, I think Aitman's going to be, he's like maybe the new James Jones on this team, just that red zone dude. You know what I mean? You don't hear his name, and then boom, touchdown, Marcel Aitman.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Hey, that's all right with me.
I'm cool with that.
Just be consistent with it, man. Lots of touchdowns.
Having to deal with Aitman and Jared Cook.
Did we just picked up a receiver to replace Zach Crockett from back in the days? Or?
That kind of a thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
a goal line receiver?
That kind of a thing. You know what I mean? Who knows? Maybe they'll bust out the pro set and you'll have like Keith Smith and Marshawn Lynch in the backfield with Cook and
and Aitman?
And Aitman, yeah. And and Lee Smith out there who can catch balls, deceptively catching balls in the big body.
Right.
So I like it, man.
I like it too.
Very versatile sets right now. Keep it moving.
Yeah.
Martavis. It's Martavis. By the way, it's not Martavius. It's Martavis Bryant. Seems to be really high on John Gruden, but John is a little more critical of the tall speedster. Coach Gruden is a mastermind, quoted Bryant. He told ESPN's Dan Graziano this on Saturday. Gruden's thoughts on Bryant were far less complimentary. He's a little more critical. Here's what Gruden told the media about Bryant on the same day via the Mercury News. John says he's got to get out there and play better. He's in a competitive situation. And right now, there are a lot of other receivers that have had a nice camp. He's had illnesses. He's got to master the offense and be more versatile. And that's the key to making this team better. Now, this is clickbait central right now.
This is clickbait central. If you don't title your post what Gruden actually said,
right?
Okay, people were over here talking about Gruden is unhappy with Martavis Bryant, and I'm like, where did you pull that from? Where did you quote him saying that he was unhappy? He didn't say he was unhappy. He just says he wants him to work. He wants him to be more versatile. Who the hell doesn't want their players to be more versatile?
And that's it. That's it. I think Bryant, he's been pegged as being a speedster and a deep threat, and the stats kind of prove that, right? Austin Gale retweeted this with a comment earlier today, or maybe it was yesterday. It says, Raiders wide receiver Martavis Bryant has earned 43% of his career receiving yards on go routes and post routes per PFF, evidence of a sparse route tree. Well, that might be true, right? John, he's notorious for putting multiple sets out there that do the same things.
Right.
It's really like a game of disguise, of smoke and mirrors. Most teams come out there with that philosophy. We're going to have these base packages. This is our bread and butter, we're going to try to mix it up to keep teams off balance. But we're going to stick to what we're good at.
Yeah.
This tells me he wants Bryant to be more involved.
Exactly.
He sees Bryant as, okay, here's a guy with all his potential. He's 6'4", 6'5", 200 plus. He's got speed for days. How else can we get him involved? The West Coast offense is predicated on the theory that you get guys early in their route as soon as they hit full speed.
Right.
See Tim Brown, see Jerry Rice, two guys that were lethal on just slants.
Right.
You know, so the way I see this is, here's a puzzle piece. I need to fit it in more places than he's been done so far before. And he was also quick to point out, you know, he's been sick. He's behind right now. This is not about Bryant being dumb or not being able to pick up the offense, which I see a lot of you guys trying to pick out.
Or not working hard. It's none of those things.
No. If Bryant recognizes that John Gruden is, you know, an offensive mastermind, then he's paying attention.
That's right.
And that means he's got respect for his head coach, which tells me he's going to do everything he can to answer the call of John Gruden. And we've seen this before. I know this is a knock on Gruden, and you could take it either way. It depends on how far it goes. But Gruden using the media to light a fire under his players' asses.
That's it. That's what it is, man.
And there's a little bit of that there, too.
Yeah.
But he's also notorious for being hard on the guys he likes. So I see this as a good sign.
It's a good sign. Listen, I had a coach back in the days that used to chew out everybody that he actually wanted on the field, right? And the guy that sucked, that would get in there with the third team, he wouldn't even pay attention, right? He's not going to say anything to you because he doesn't want you on the field.
Right.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care. But if he wants you on the field, he's going to cuss you out because he wants you to be better.
So I'm going to use this moment right here to talk about a little nugget that I just read in a book. Now, this book isn't out yet. Penguin and Random House Publishing, they contacted us about sending us an advance copy of this book, which was
nice.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
We made it, Chad.
Send it over.
We got
Send it over.
free books.
We start a library over here.
But this book is written by Michael Lombardi. I know some of you guys have feelings about Lombardi. I don't really have any kind of feeling about Lombardi. I just wanted to read the damn book.
Yeah.
You say what you want about him, but he in no relation to Vince Lombardi. But he, you know, a lot of people maybe think that, but he's worked with guys. He's worked with Bill Walsh. He was a senior assistant for Al Davis from, I think, 97 to about 2007. He was with the Raiders for a decade. He's coached alongside, or he's worked alongside Bill Belichick. So this book is about his time with those three masterminds.
Right.
And comparing and contrasting and I guess comprising all of their theories and methodology when it comes to coaching, leadership, and strategy. And he talks about John Gruden both when he was in Philadelphia and then when he was at the Raiders. When he was in Philadelphia, he would walk around the facilities muttering to himself like, I can't believe they expect me to do this with this talent. Like, I don't have the talent level here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't got anybody that can do this. And then he comes to Oakland and he's like, I have better talent in Philadelphia. I can't. and so at first he was kind of like, does he really mean this? Like, he's got Jerry Rice and on the team, you know, Tim Brown and Charlie Garner and Rich Gannon. Like, as it turns out, this was just really a motivational tactic for John himself. It was a way for John to not get complacent and to really motivate himself to keep pushing harder and further.
Right.
Something that he learned under Bill Walsh.
You can get complacent if you're like, oh, man, I got Tim Brown.
Yeah.
I got Jerry Rice. I got all these studs on offense.
Yeah.
Like, I can get used to this. I can take it easy. No. He's trying to motivate himself, trying to keep him. I like that, man. I like that kind of attitude.
So, you know,
feel like the world's against you, bro.
And take everything he says with a grain of salt. Remember, the last 10 plus years or so, he's been in the booth. He's been, you know, got the backstage pass to all these NFL teams, and he's been studying film. But he's also been studying media tactics as well.
Yes, he is.
And he's using that to his advantage.
Hell yeah.
He's feeding these guys the seeds he wants to feed them.
Yep.
Because he knows how it goes.
Hey, you know what? Back to not to keep referring back to my high school career, which was not that great. Okay, by the way, it was the tight end that never caught the ball. Okay, I just blocked. But but my coach did the same thing when we were in the playoffs. We're in the playoffs. They did an interview, and he was just downplaying our guys. Right? It's, oh, our cornerbacks, they're midgets. They're small. They can't really, can't cover anybody. These guys that we're facing, they're so fast. They're so big. They're so strong. We're just in it. We're just here to we're just here to compete.
Yeah.
We're just going to try to do our best.
Yeah.
But to us, he's like, we're going to go out there. We're going to whoop their asses. We're going to go out there. We're going to beat these guys.
Huh.
These guys don't know what's coming. And we did. We beat St. Francis in the playoffs.
That's big, bro.
It's big.
That's
People from the area know about St. Francis.
I know that.
Especially back then.
And then just a spotlight right here on the YouTube chat. Again, there's more interactivity. The Stackanova. By the way, follow this guy on Twitter. He's pretty smart. The Stackanova.
Yeah.
Stackanova.
Stackanova.
This is a good bow on the end of this little section here. He said Gruden also ended his comment about Martavis by saying he needs to be better, and he has confidence that he will. So Gruden tagged it with a positive, and that's all you need to know.
That's it, man.
Thanks, Stacks, for tying that up for us. Appreciate that. Giorgio Tavecchio was released by the Raiders this week.
Yes, he was.
Giorgio was beloved by a large section of fans. This guy excluded. Right? I've been critical of Giorgio.
Yes, you have.
Why have I been critical of Giorgio?
Because he missed a lot of game winners, bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
That's why.
I mean, I think it was like 2.
You had reason.
Yeah.
That's 2 wins that we could have had.
Yeah.
I mean, you had reason to be upset with him.
And I was at both games. He missed a kick in the Baltimore game, which was a rough game for us, right? Lee got injured in that game, right? And who else was injured in that game? The other linebacker we had there, James.
Yeah, Corey James. Corey James. Yep.
Injured in that game. Also missed one in the Chargers game. That game was hot as hell, by the way. And maybe those games were game winners, but they could have been, or they could have at least been game tires.
If anything, it's points on the board.
It's points on the board.
And you need them any way you can get them.
And these are chip shots, dog.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm a little bit happy for Giorgio to be let go early. At least he can catch on someone else. I don't think the guy's talentless, but in the clutch, I just didn't have a good feeling about it.
Right.
Right. So that makes way for Eddie Pinheiro, and I think we also brought in Mike Nugent. So what do these guys have in common? They're both right-footed kickers, that's all you need to know about why this happened. So why was it released? According to Coach, having the consistency of 2 right-footed kickers was the reason. The process and operation of snapping the ball and setting it is different depending on the dominant foot of the kicker. The camp battle has been close, but John's attention to detail, efficiency, and operations has Pinheiro winning out. The early cut allows Giorgio to catch on with another camp.
That's right.
Good luck to you, Giorgio. Hopefully it's outside the AFC West.
Yeah, man. I mean, you're making it easier for your long snapper. You're making it easier for the guy that's holding for you, right?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have to keep switching, trying to adjust to the difference in the catching from the right side, catching from the left side. So it makes sense. It makes sense, especially when you don't expect Tavecchio to win out, right?
Yeah, right.
That's the whole point.
Right.
Pinheiro's supposed to win out.
He's supposed to.
He's supposed to win this out. So let's get rid of him, and let's bring in another guy that kicks the same way.
Keep it moving.
That's it.
Another release this week.
Yeah.
Your boy Vidal Alexander.
My boy.
I know you're real high on this dude. I'm just playing. Yeah, Vidal's out.
Yeah.
It was an early move, much like Vidal's false starts. It was an early move. It was a quick move. It came before the gun, much like Vidal's false starts. Yeah. So Vidal, you got a chance to catch on with another camp as well.
He does. He's a big boy. So he's a big, he's a big body. He'll get picked up.
Yeah.
So, size like that isn't going to go, unwanted.
I'm hoping he goes to Denver.
Hey.
Real bad. He could join your boy Menelik Watson out there, too.
They like picking up our scraps, man. So let's send him over.
Yeah, that's it.
Send him over. And we'll get some sacks.
My bad. I didn't mean to throw a sack over your sack. No, Bruno. Daryl Worley sentenced to 3 days in jail. Hang in there, Daryl. I know it's a long 3 days. He'll be signing autographs all 3 days, probably. Right. 3 days in jail and 2 years of probation stemming from an incident in April. The charge claims Worley was found passed out inside a vehicle blocking an intersection in Philadelphia. Bad look, bro. He is also charged with resisting arrest after having been tased, allegedly. Worley was also in possession of a firearm. I don't know what the resistance was like. That's why I say allegedly. He was tased. That's not the alleged part of it.
Right.
I don't want to get in politics.
He could have been.
Who knows?
I don't want to make shit up either. But
Dude was asleep,
maybe he was a little belligerent when he woke up.
I am.
I mean, who isn't, right? When you wake up, you're like, damn, what the hell's going on, right? Especially if somebody wakes you up and you didn't wake up by yourself, bro. And all of a sudden you're in the middle of the street. You didn't even know how you got there. You're like, what the hell's this?
Philadelphia PD, hasn't anybody ever told you not to wake a sleep driver? Come on now. Just let him drive, bro. You don't know why he was in that intersection.
You're just supposed to monitor him, dude.
Yeah.
Just follow him. It was late. I'm sure the streets were empty anyways. Just keep them out of people's garbage cans, bro.
You got fans eating horse shit out there, and they're not getting arrested. Come on now. But, I mean, I think Worley, justice is served here. I mean, assuming everything is, as it was. Yeah. And Raider fans kind of get a reprieve here because it's a short sentence. And hopefully, we'll see what the NFL decides to do and what the organization decides to do. But it sounds like coming to camp, he's, a new perspective. He's doing everything the coaching staff has asked him to do. So hopefully, Daryl Worley comes out the other end and time served and we move on.
Get him an Uber.
Keep him moving. Get him an Uber. Well, Mo Hurst is driving Uber.
There you go.
So there you go.
There you go.
Back in the day, Jim Rome had an idea for the celebrity drunk wagon.
Okay.
Because his philosophy, and I agree with him, is nothing good happens after midnight if you're in public.
That's true.
And there should be, I think it was like his 1-800 number. It was like 1-800 blah was the number. And if you're a celebrity and you're drunk, you just call that number. Little did he know that he invented Uber in the jungle. So say what you want about Jim Rome, but it was a brilliant idea. Colton Miller holding his own in the absence of Donald Penn. While not deemed to be fully ready at this time, Miller's growth has been well documented by the coaching staff. Miller was praised by Coach Gruden this week for his ability to learn on the fly and keep up with varying tempos of Gruden's offense and Carr's improvisation at the line. The rookie has a lot on his plate, but has done well answering the call so far.
Yeah.
So Miller, maybe not pro ready yet, but he's taken a big jump since the start of camp.
Definitely. And a comment that Arden Key had was that he's getting better every single day.
That's good.
Every single day, he's like, I have to come up with some new stuff every single time that we go head to head because he's catching on. So
that's good because Key be roasting your ass.
Hell yeah, he did. That spam move had you confused, my friend.
So that's exciting though, right? Seeing these two young dudes go up against it.
It is, man.
That's pretty cool.
Because they want to get the best of each other.
Two would-be first-rounders, right? Colton, the for sure first-rounder, and Key could have been if he came out a year earlier or if he has sustained his productivity. So
there you go. And you got two guys, even though Colton Miller was a first-rounder, he still has a lot to prove. He's heard it since day one, right? I'm sure he heard the fan base.
Yeah.
Day one, everybody was like, "Oh, what happened?" Right? And then you got Arden Key, who was taken later than he felt he should have been taken, right?
Yeah.
So you got two guys with chips on their shoulders. They got something to prove. So I like the fact that they're gonna grow together, right? They're gonna be testing each other. They're gonna be making each other better. So, yeah, man, it looks good for us.
It looks real good.
Hell yeah.
I like it. Iron sharpens iron.
Hell yeah.
Peyton Manning visited practice. Y'all were happy about it, but y'all gonna be pissed when he shows up to Broncos facility next week. Spills all the tea. Omaha! How did he come out that Papa John's thing unscathed?
Right.
Didn't he teabag some chick in college or something like that?
No, I don't know about that, man.
Yeah. Right, Juice? He did.
He
did. Juice confirms. So, I don't know, man. He's got a big-ass 5 head. I don't know.
That forehead grows at least an inch every year, right?
Oh, yeah, at least.
He's on Jerry Rice status, bro. Remember when Jerry Rice had the cornrows that started halfway?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
And we're like, come on, Jerry. Are you really going to hold on to those bitches? Let them go, bro.
And he started that in Oakland, huh?
Yeah.
He's, I'm thug now.
Yeah.
I'm cornrow Rice now. Those are rice rolls, by the way. Those aren't cornrows.
Oh, man.
I was a big Peyton Manning fan before he got to Denver. I thought the guy was cool, man. I liked him when he was in Tennessee. I always liked Peyton Manning. He was a smart dude. In fact, I was talking about him. It's like you can have a physical like specimen at quarterback or a dude like Peyton Manning that's got more brains than can fit in his forehead. And it just goes to show how cerebral that position is because he was never the speedster. He's kind of a flimsy-looking dude, but pretty much unscathed.
I mean, this dude had dad bod the moment he came into the league, bro.
He still does.
He still does.
You've seen the footage.
He's keeping up the dad bod.
You need to lose that Tennessee hat when you come to practice, though. The orange is just too close.
Hey, would you rather he wear the Tennessee crap or show up with some Broncos shit?
It's both orange, dog.
But at least it's a Tennessee thing. Like, I'll let him survive with that. But he shows up to practice in some Broncos shit. He's getting sacked.
True. Yeah, on GP, bro. On
you
GP.
getting sacked, bro.
Derek Carr has been near infallible at camp, as he should be. He's had 1 pick so far when Irvin disguised his assignment and dropped back into coverage in an early camp session. That's a win for Paul Gunther. Teammates have noted also that Carr is yet to fail an impromptu quiz by Coach Gruden. These quizzes he's become famous for. He's not going out like, what's his name? Chris from Tampa. Chris Sims. Yeah, he ain't going out like Chris Sims. Thank you, Juice. Juice becoming the unofficial producer of this show.
There you go.
In-studio producer. Fact finder.
Those clips are fucking hilarious, bro. Chris Sims is just so fucked up. He's so mixed up. He's like, my bad, I'm sorry. He's apologizing and shit.
I saw a recent interview with him, and he said that Gruden had him mic'd up and the young QBs mic'd up on purpose.
Yeah.
To kind of make an example out of him. So he was a little sour about it, but I think when he looked back, he was like, you know what? He was testing me. He was testing me.
Yeah.
You know what, Chris? Learn the damn plays, bro. You can say all you want, but Learn the plays. Lastly, Gruden has commented on more than one occasion that he's excited to unleash Carr and give him more autonomy at the line of scrimmage. And that's been a note that's kind of showed up in every press conference Gruden has had is we're giving Derek a lot to do with the line. And there's been, I know on one occasion, Derek changed the play at the line of scrimmage, and I think that was the play down the sideline to Aitman that we saw just a few days ago in the padded practice. So Derek's unleashed this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And healthy.
That's it.
That's it, man.
Bro, we need to take a break because I'm sitting here like a sweaty stack of pancakes right
Gotta
now.
turn this damn fan off, bro. Jesus Christ. I got drops of sweat coming to every fucking area of my body, bro.
I got my elbows out right now because I don't want to touch my own body.
Don't think that Kenny's trying to be the next Superman in this next movie. He's not getting the pose down or anything. He's just trying to stay cool.
Oh man. It's hot.
It's hot.
Nothing like the sound of two sweaty thighs ripping off a hot Naugahyde seat in a summer month. You know what I mean?
I don't. But all right.
You're about to find out as soon as I get up out of this chair. But I digress. We're going to take a short break here. We usually do a guest here in the first segment.
Yeah.
But there's no Kane. Kane is abroad right now. So we may get a call from him later, but this was a long first segment. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back on the air with tonight's guest, your boy Q.
Yeah.
And then we'll get to callers after that.
All right.
How about that? We'll respond
Sounds
to callers after that. So we'll come out the break hot with your boy Q, also known as a co-host from the Black Hole Banter podcast. You guys might be familiar with him. Again, it's not competition, it's conversation. I encourage you guys to listen to all these voices of Raider Nation.
That's right.
And then come back and tell us how we're the best. I play. No, man, we're looking forward to talking to Q. He's also on air. He's a radio personality down there in Texas where he lives. So we'll talk a little bit about that, and we'll pick his brain for everything. But in the meantime, we out here.
Peace.
Go Raiders.
You got it. You got it this time. I saw you go, wait a minute. I gotta go with the other button.
You saw that,
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's hot. Let's get these windows open.
Shit, son. I already fucking killed this beer. I need to go get that other Stella.
Go rescue those ones from the freezer. Maybe Juice wants one, too.
Oh, yeah, you want that Corona Light?
No.
Like knock down.
Freezer. Hopefully they didn't freeze that. I had to change the thumbnail from last week because I didn't notice it, but it has me like looking the other way and you text me on your phone. I was like, this is not looking at all.
Right. These guys look invested. Oh shit, son. It's like seriously at least 10-15 degrees cooler down there, bro.
Oh, I bet. Open those blinds so that the air can come through. It's starting to cool off in here right now.
Yo, 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 yo.
All right, let's play these.
Have you heard the new Bust?
No, the new
There's
album.
a new Busta album out,
No.
and people were like, "Shit's legit."
I
haven't heard it yet.
I heard his verse on that Anderson .Paak song. That killing people on that track. Yeah, super fast.
Sleep on Busta, dude.
Let's listen to these calls. You want to slap on some headphones? I don't know if you'll be able to hear Juice. I can't put the speakers on because then we'll feed back.
What up, Kenny, Che, and nothing but great news from Raider Nation. Great interview with Chris Reed. I was so informed. So awesome. But Kenny, he came through for us, bud. My wife, my boys were all coming out to watch the Raiders and Colts. That is so awesome. Continue talking with us. This podcast is just the tops for us. The nation is alive, and we are ready for football this year. Let's get it on, Raiders. Just win, baby.
That's it.
Okay. Hey, boys, I'm sorry I cut myself off too soon this week. This G-Paw again. I wanted to tell you that this podcast is going so smooth that it's making everything sound great. Arden Key, the way you're hyping him up, he's becoming one of my favorite players. I'm so looking forward to watching him smash mouth around, especially when Khalil Mack is messing around. Let's go, Raiders. Let's do it. It's time to man up and play some football Raider style. And everything Mark Davis is doing, I think Al Davis would have done the exact same thing. So everybody relax.
Like it.
Kenny, Jay, it's the WAP. Man, how's everything going? Well, first of all, let me state that the use of F words is important right now because in a world full of PC and gender pronouns and spaces, the F word is under a fucking attack. You gotta use it as much as possible. So that's the reason why I'm using it. Second thing. Can we please stop talking about Seth Roberts playing on our team? Sorry, no. Anyone that likes Seth Roberts should stop. No, that's a bad idea. I also read that Jalen Richard is getting hurt. Oh, well, you know. I like the guy, but he can't hold a football. That's just fucking horrible. I hate watching it. You know, super glue his hands is something, and he needs to get better hands. Him getting injured kind of bothers me a little bit, not much. The bad thing it is not going to change much. Everyone's fucking paid astronomical prices for it. Whatever. Max great player. But Musburger, the JFB guy, that was pretty good trying to hype up Musburger. That was an amazing job. I give him some credit for that. You're not going to get me excited about that dude. If you've ever heard him, he's boring. Give me somebody else, please. And as far as our team, it's looking great. You know, every time you hear the players, they look happy. Greg Colton Miller's holding his own against Bruce Irvin. That's good. You know, these are things you want to hear about Kansas. And when the pass, I heard Arden Key's looking really good. Those are positives. Negatives is we got the injury bug. You know, we got a couple.
YouTube will shut down.
Gary Conley got the hip
Keep
straight,
beers?
growing straight. You know, this is good
All right.
Lord. Then I also the Broncos. They're having a decent camp. I'm watching the music. Nothing that really sad.
Did they say that? Did they contact you?
No, another YouTuber let me know.
Really good.
Shit, I have beers on every fucking week.
I'm not really worried about the Broncos. Me, I think.
Trying to get a sponsor over here. Juice.
They're still in that reconstruction phase. That team, anyone that thinks that Broncos are going to the playoffs, that's out of your mind. It's not going to happen. They're not ready. That team is completely half-assed right now. All you have is a great defense, and you got rid of mean, you're still their quarterback, so you're not going to be as good as you were. That's just the truth about the Broncos. All right, guys, that's my little rant for the fucking day.
Hey fellas, it's G-Paw again. I'm just calling to say, Kenny, thank you so much, you and the brethren from the nation, and helping my dreams come true. I did not ever think this would be possible for me to come to a Raider game. You blessed me and my family. Continue the talks all the time. I mean, they're great. I've got more information. I heard that Charles Woodson is talking to Khalil Mack. So let's get that going, boys. I will call later on next week. But thank you. You're a blessing.
Hey, this is AJ at Humorous Fame. I just want to call this on news tweet now, congratulating Randy Moss on his golden jacket. Why? And all the Raider fans that are doing the same thing. Why? What the fuck did he ever do for us? Nothing. Okay? Here, let me give you a quick summary of Randy Moss. When we got here in 2005, everyone was hyped. You know, even that first game against the Patriots, he was dope. Okay? Say what you want about the first season, but you know, at first he played smart. But then week 7 against the Cowboys, he goes over the middle to catch a football, comes down hurt. And guess what? Ever since that game against the Cowboys, he's never, ever gone over. He never went over the middle for a ball again. If you don't believe me, go watch the Super Bowl when he was on the Niners playing the Ravens. He's one of the reasons why the Niners lost that football game. Go back and watch it. Kaepernick threw him a football. That was not good. It was not too high for him. What did Randy Moss do? He did not even attempt to jump for it. And he got intercepted. Okay? I'll always remember that. He finally gets to play. And gets to play another Super Bowl. Comes up short. This dude's a piece of shit. And he should have been the best thing on the 2006 Raiders team. Should have been the bright spot. He was wearing the captain on his chest. But no, he shouldn't. He should have been stripped of that. And also, he did something I've never seen another player do. I believe it was in week 3 or 4 in Baltimore in 2006. Right before halftime, he looks over his shoulder and Ed Reed about to tackle him, and he purposely dropped the football. Raider fans, stop giving this man praise. He himself said he's not a Raider. And I think Raiders, their tweet, their handle is to take that shit down. Nothing should be congratulated for this man. I hope his car is keyed in every single parking lot. Terrell is a better teammate. Maybe Randy Moss is a better player, but he's not a better human being. He's a piece of shit, and he's a liar, saying things to Raider Nation. He still said he has no regrets. So what does that say about him?
I don't know, man. AJ needs to find a new phone carrier, bro.
There was some sound issue there, man, because there was a few of those calls that were a little low.
Time to get back on it. We're actually going to do the caller response because it's pretty short, and then we'll take another just quick break. Q says he's ready, so we're just going to burn through this. Yep, Che in the message right now. We said thanks for the towel advice, but we're just going to use these cold brews instead. Cold brews, which I've been informed we have to keep off camera, or else YouTube will shut this down. Thanks, YouTube. You got people blowing themselves up on purpose, and that's okay. But we grown adults can't drink a beer on camera.
Right.
Okay, I see you. Enjoy the music. Give me 1 minute, and then we'll jump back into this.
Yeah. Stella's another good refreshing beer, bro. It's a good summer beer.
Stella's clutch.
I drank through so many Stellas when we went on vacation a couple years ago to Big Bear. I grabbed this mix, dude. So they had 6-pack. Basically, it was a 12-pack, but it was basically a 6-pack of Stellas, 3-pack of Hoeing Garden, and a 3-pack of Left, all mixed in 1 pack.
Yeah,
It was that was my shit, man.
Hoe Gardens are delicious. Before I was in a relationship, I had quite the Hoe Garden going on. You got your prime hoes in the garden you keep up front, and then you got the ones in the back. They just catch like a whiff of the sprinkler, but they're persistent. They grow in any condition. They're like cactus, and you can call on them when you need them. You know, it's like aloe vera. When you get burnt, you just rub that cactus, and it kind of takes some of the burn away.
It does.
And then when the burn subsides, you go back to that front line.
The problem is, man, unlike aloe vera, they might cause some burn too.
They might. They might. You got to be careful.
Be careful. Be careful what cactus you're messing with, bro.
All right. Again, another off-topic gem for you YouTubers out there. Things you don't catch
Oh, damn.
in the audio version of the show. So we're gonna get back to it here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to refill the Arizona iced tea can.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could do that. You could do that, or you could do I mean, you got plenty of other options, but
Yeah.
Arizona iced tea can is a good idea because of the size. You can
Bro.
put a lot of brew in there, bro.
It's tall can for tall can.
That's it, man.
Yeah. All right. Let me get this podcast recording again. And we're back. Let's go through some of these calls really quick. We got your boy Q waiting in the wings. He's ready to come on the air.
Yeah.
We're going to burn through these caller responses real fast. Thanks again to calling. Those of you listening to the show, a lot of people hit me up. When can I call in? You can call in at any time. 408-909-PJFF, 408-909-7533. It is a message box, so just leave your message. We will play it on air. We play all messages on air, and we will respond to them. So good calls this week. We want to say thank you to G-Paw. Raider, we got your back, man. I told you I'd help you out, and I'm going to help you out. We're still working on maybe getting those tickets at a lesser cost for you, or if not, gratis to you. But in the meantime, I'm going to get you the lowest price possible and try to make your wishes come through, man. We appreciate that. I won't be at that game personally. I will be out of town that game, but Che might be there. Kane will definitely be there. And the rest of the pillagers. So if you guys want to hit up the tailgate, I'll make sure to send you in the right direction. Or if you just want to get to the seats, you can. The guy that's hooking up your tickets, he got a real good crew out there in those seats. So you'll be taken care of. There's real nice people. And I want to give those seats to just anybody because, as you know, season ticket holders are held accountable even when guests hit their seats. So don't be like Che and I and almost get kicked out of a preseason game.
Come on, man. They were trying to kick me out for being a good fan, though.
I know.
Come on, man.
I know.
You were there. You defended me.
I was there. I did defend you.
That's right.
And then you probably got lost in the parking lot.
That's after the fact, bro. Okay, that had nothing to do with what was going on inside the stadium.
You weren't lost at the moment.
Okay.
You knew right where you were.
Hell yeah.
And I had to negotiate with the security guard. I told him we're going to be loud on defense, and
right.
special teams. And we're not loud on the offense, but pre-third down, I'm hyping up the section.
Oh, yeah.
Whether they want it or not.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, okay.
Yeah, he backed off, and then we just continued to do mostly what we were already doing. And he just was like, what am I going to do about these guys?
Preseason is a time for the team to get up to speed. It is also time for the fans to get up to speed.
That's right.
But I'm going to tell you this. There's a lot of novices that attend preseason games.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of knuckleheads out there, too.
Mm-hmm.
The tickets are cheaper. A lot of times they're giveaways. You know, act accordingly. If you're going to come, act like it's a regular season game. That's how I roll.
That's how I roll, too.
So
why do you think I was so prime for prime time, bro?
And one shout out to Dan, to Dapper Dan on Instagram. He's going to hook up some black hole seats
Yeah.
August 24th. So I know, Che, you've never sat out in the black hole before.
It's going to be the first, bro.
It's going to be cool.
I like that. I like that we're going to be in the black hole because then no one can tell me to sit down.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
No one can tell me to sit down when I'm in the black hole.
There's only one speed in the black hole.
That's it. It's full speed.
It's full speed ahead.
It's full speed, bro.
Next call was from WAP. WAP, your audio was a little off this week, but it sounds like maybe you were traveling. It's all good. You got to stay on the move. But Seth will eventually be out. Do we take the cap hit by just cutting him? I don't know. I know they were trying to trade him at one point, but after having a bad camp, you got to think that Seth is probably untradeable at this point. I mean, if they can get anything for him, a 7th rounder or something, bro, like, let's do it. In the meantime, maybe just make him a gunner on special teams. Even there might be a hindrance. I don't know. But Seth, we might be carrying him on the roster for another year.
Yeah, clear the throat.
But I had to clear my throat. You caught that, huh? But let's make sure he's seen limited time because Seth can only hurt us at this point. He can't help us. That's what it seems.
That's what it feels like. But feel free to prove us wrong, Seth. Catch some touchdowns and come back with sure hands, and then you'll be back in our good graces. Man.
Come back with some stickum or something.
There you go.
I met Lester Hayes a couple weeks ago, and I'm still shaking his hand.
You left fingerprints, bro.
Man, he never quit with that stickum. Oh, by the way, make sure you check out the Maroons track, Lester Hayes. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's probably a song most of you haven't heard. Lateef and the Chief, Lateef the Truth Speaker, and Chief Excel from Black Alicious. They got a song called Lester Hayes. Make sure you check that out. Just a little plug there. One of my favorite hip hop songs. What were we talking about here? I think I might have been responding to G-Paw's second call there. WAP called in. He talked a little bit about the Broncos camp, having a good camp. Cool. Like I said last week, everybody's having a good camp at this point.
It's true.
The Broncos O-line, to me, still suspect.
Yep.
Not too worried about them, but they are an AFC West opponent.
Yeah.
They are a lifelong rival, and anything can happen in the AFC West.
Can't take them lightly.
Can't take them lightly, bro.
No.
So week 2, I'll be out there with Kane. We're going to be out there pillaging that game. Let me just restate, you are not an official member of Raider Nation until you have traveled to an away game and a home game. But the definition of pillaging just for fun is that you pillage. You can't pillage your own pirate ship.
It's true.
You can't do that.
This is true.
You got to get out there on the high seas, and you got to. You ever been to an away game?
I have.
You've been to a Chargers game, huh?
Charger game, San Diego.
That counts, bro.
I lived out there, bro. By default, but hey, it works.
Somebody asked me if going to Levi Stadium counts. Does that count? It counts, right?
I mean, it does, because if we're playing the Niners, yeah, of course.
Yeah. It counts. I mean, we're not playing Chivas.
No.
I mean, who else are we going to play?
Chivas!
And that's relevant because they do host soccer games over there at Levi Stadium. They're hosting anything they can because they're barely hosting a football team at this point. Hey, that last call, man, by AJ DeMello, Humorous Fiend on Twitter. Follow that dude. He's also a member of the Raider Ramble team. He writes some pretty funny parody stories over there. First thing I got to say, AJ, is you got to get a new cell phone provider, man, or hit us up on the landline because your cell phone's tripping. I know you got that LSD wireless, Metro PCS, Metro LSD wireless plan. It's not happening, bro. It's fading in and out. It's warbling. I know you're hearing your own calls, dog, so I appreciate the calls. I want you to keep calling, but I feel like I'm missing a lot of what you're saying. So please borrow a friend's phone Or use, you know what? Use what we use. Use Google Hangouts to dial the call. Just, if you got a Google account, go to Google Hangouts and just dial the number. It's free, and you get a crystal clear connection. By the way, shout out to Google. We use Google Hangouts to host all of our guests, and the connection's been pretty good, I got to say. It's been pretty good. So
It has, man. It hasn't let us down.
but, man, so your Randy Moss takes, though, we're not off, not at all. And here's what I got to say about Randy Moss. He said it himself. He was never a Raider.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about the once a Raider, always a Raider. That's an elastic term.
Yeah.
Is that a fair way to put it?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing, though, about Randy Moss. And I was just reading a Michael Lombardi's book this afternoon. I just started it. I got through about the first 100 pages. And he, clearing my throat again, because I'm about to go into this. He was a senior assistant at that time when Randy Moss was here, and he said that the year that Randy showed up, he was the consummate professional. He was a good leader in the locker room. He was attentive, I should say, and he was doing everything he needed to do as a vet. Then he got hurt, and when he came back, there was a regime change. Art Shell had taken over at that point.
Right.
And I guess what you can say, and I'm not justifying his actions at all because I think it's deplorable, but Randy Moss basically didn't buy into it. You say what you want about Art Shell as a player. I mean, just silver and black till the day he died.
Mm-hmm.
Broke the color barrier as far as head coaching. I love Art Shell, man. So this is no knock on Art, but as you guys know, he did get us to a playoff game, but Art Shell was not the best coach in our history, and apparently just wasn't the greatest leader when it came to the leader behind the scenes. So.
Right.
That was maybe some of the reasoning for Randy Moss opting out and not buying in at that point. But, when leadership at the top steps down, the leadership at the player level has to step up. Sure. And that's why you get guys like Randy Moss. That's why you get guys like Jordy Nelson, because you need leaders at all levels on the team. You need a leader at the coaching staff. You need a leader in the locker room. You need a leader in the wide receiver room, what have you, whatever personnel unit you're a part of. And so no excuse for you, Randy Moss. You can, Lombardi could spin it however he wants to, and I get what he's trying to say, shedding some light on other problems that were happening in the locker room at that time. But that's no excuse. That's a time for you to step up. Now, you went to New England. You had yourself a banner year over there, after that. And good for you, Randy. Good for you getting in the Hall of Fame. And no doubt you deserved it.
Yeah.
But you trying to kiss up to the Raider Nation in your Hall of Fame speech, bro, we're not buying it. Are you buying it?
I didn't buy it, man. Listen, when that video, like I said, when that video came out and he's telling Raider fans that he's not a Raider, I was like, all right, bro. You said it yourself. You're not a Raider. So don't look to Raider fans now. All right? Don't be calling out to the Raider Nation now.
No.
All right?
We ain't having it.
I don't want it.
I don't want it, bro.
Get the hell out of here with that shit.
Get out.
All right?
So that's our callers, man. That's our caller segment.
Yeah, man. Great calls.
Good calls, man. Raider Wop, man. I think El Guapo.
El Guapo.
I like that.
I like that, man.
Do you even know what a plethora is?
Tell me, Jefe. Do you know what a plethora is?
Real ones know what we're talking about. So, man, Raider Wop is making a strong case for caller of the year.
Hell yeah.
I think we need to do that, man. I don't know when we announce that. Maybe we start now and we'll announce that at the end of the season. Is that fair?
I think that's a good idea, man.
Let's start now. So again,
we start now. We start here, training camp, and then once we get to playoffs, maybe that's when we announce.
I like the optimism there.
Yeah,
I caught what you're doing.
Hey, man,
I see it.
I said 11-5, bro.
I got it right here in the notes.
Okay,
I got it right here in the notes, bro. You got our first loss coming in week 2 against Denver.
Yeah.
And then you don't have another loss coming until week 5, which I got to look up who that is. I want to say that might be – that's not Cleveland. That'll be Miami. I know Seattle's week 6. I'm not going to say it right now. We're not going to go into that right now.
It's all right.
11-5.
That's right.
Optimism abound. So, anyways, you ready to take another quick break?
Yeah.
This is going to be a fast one.
Quick one.
All right, let's do it. So we're going to come back with your boy Q. Stay tuned. We at you.
Yeah. Who's this? Is this dude just fucking? Is this dude just fucking just up in our chat just talking nonsense? There's no way to stop the inevitable. What are you talking about, bro? If you're talking about like the Raiders' rise, then put that shit. This is very what's the word I'm looking for? Cryptic. It's a very cryptic ass message, bro. Donkey Ronky, I hope everything's all right with you, bro. Okay, stay up. All right, everything's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is another day. All right.
I went full bro step with this track right here.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Bro step. I like that.
It's funky though.
It is funky.
You gotta say it's funky.
Hell yeah.
By the way, it's off my last release, Something Massive. The title of that album came from National Lampoon's European Vacation. When they're at the top of the Eiffel Tower, Clark Griswold says, I want to create, I want to sculpt, I want to make something massive. And he says, anybody seen the restroom? Remember that?
Yep.
Yeah. I was
They got them fucking berets on.
Yeah.
And Russ is trying to hit on some girls, but he's got the fucking beret with his
Rusty.
name on it. Rusty. My favorite scene, dude, is when he's imagining himself walking up in the club. Some like it hot and some sweat when the heat is on. That's the shit, dude. He's got that leather jacket, spinning it around, got all the girls on him and shit. Fucking funny.
That was fire. That's a good movie. All those National Lampoon's movies are good. I like the Vegas one too,
The
underrated.
Vegas one's good.
Yeah. What's a funnier Christmas film? Christmas Vacation or Christmas Story?
Christmas Vacation, bro.
Yeah.
Come on,
Christmas
man.
Story got the nostalgia, but Vacation got the laughs.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
You got
right?
Cousin Eddie, bro. Come on, man.
Everybody got a
Cousin Eddie, bro.
Cousin Eddie might be your uncle, but you got a Cousin Eddie, right? Bro, I think I might have been Cousin Eddie a couple times. I have a feeling one of my best friends, A-Logic, probably thinks I'm kind of a Cousin Eddie when I go to his house.
Shit, man. I might have to bust that one out for Halloween, bro. It'd be fucking
I'll be sleeping over there. I'll wake up at like 10. His family's been up for like 6 hours. I'm waking up, scratching my balls in front of the... He's like, bro, we ain't in high school anymore, dog. What are you doing? All right, let me get Q on the phone here.
do it. Cousin Eddie, bro. Them patent leather white shoes, bro.
Your account is not authorized to make calls to this phone number.
The fuck it's not. Oh, man.
Looks like Q doesn't want us calling him. I don't know. I'm going to work this out right now. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He says, oh, thank you, Clark. Thank you, man. And he gives him the fucking list of things. Like, and if you got some time, I'd like to get you something real nice. Pick something out for yourself, real nice. And they're fucking shopping, and he's just picking up bag after bag of fucking dog food. Oh, man. The Vegas one's funny, dude, because they just live out there in the middle of the fucking desert, like all the government-tested desert.
Rock and it starts like sizzling on the rock.
And then he's all, what about the kids? And he goes, oh, flips the box and lets loose a bunch of fucking snakes. He's all, that'll keep them busy for hours.
All right, Q's going to call us.
All right.
Didn't know Q was the president. Man, I got to figure out how to do my phone like that. Keep my whole garden out of the mix.
No shit, right? Oh, man.
Because just when you think that whole garden is clear and raked, them weeds start popping up again, especially that back row. Like I said, they're persistent.
They're very persistent, bro. Yo, Chevy Chase is underrated, bro.
For sure.
So, like most people know him as far as movies go from the vacation movies, but you got fucking Funny Farm. That shit's a classic. And then I found this other movie. It's a two-parter too. There's a part 2 to it, and I got it in a fucking dual disc. And I forget what the fucking name, but he's like a fucking like an investigator. He's like a cop, like undercover. Yeah, Fletch. Yeah, dude, Fletch. That's what it is.
That's a good one.
Dude, the case that I got with it, it's so it's the plastic case, but then it has the cardboard case on it, and it's got like a spin, like a little fucking spinner.
Your account is not authorized to make calls to this phone number.
His costume, yeah, his disguise. So he's like dressed like fucking Magic Johnson, one fucking. And he's dressed like all these motherfuckers. Yeah. Oh man, nah, dude, that's a fucking funny ass movie too.
I like when he goes to see you guys anything else besides Mexican? He's like wondering because it's all falling apart.
He's fucking hilarious in that. Did he shoot the invisible man? He shoots the invisible man. You're supposed to shoot up. Oh shit!
We'll rape the hedges.
He's
and prune the horses.
He's all, we'll rape the horses.
Oh yeah.
And ride off on the women.
Prune the edges of
Many small villages. Who the hell are you?
Gringos falling from the sky.
Oh shit!
In my garage, I have a poster. The three amigos, they're all wearing Adidas.
Yeah,
I have that. It's in my garage.
That's dope.
Still have it.
That's dope.
Corners are all torn and shit. Couldn't get that one out.
Oh man, that's a fucking classic, man.
All right, those of you watching the video stream right now, it might be hot. You know, I might have to just reset the modem next week if this heat keeps up, which it looks like it will.
You say it's supposed to be even hotter next week.
Yeah, it's supposed to trend upwards back into the 90s. So that's all bad. Luckily, I'm in San Jose most of the time. So. Sometimes he's unless I send him directly.
Shit, man. I'm gonna have to go home and watch some fucking Chevy Chase after this, man. Get my Chevy Chase on, man.
There's another underrated Chevy Chase movie where he goes and visits. He goes to a dinner party, and then there's like a psychic there.
Yes.
Remember that movie?
Yeah. Oh man, Nell Carter.
Yeah, Nell Carter's in it.
Oh shit!
And he ends up
It's
like
facts of life, bro.
he ends up like snorting her voodoo power. Yeah, what's the name of that movie?
I don't know, dude.
We were little kids when that came out.
Yeah.
Yep. Caddyshack is always a classic, man. That will forever be a classic. Think about all the motherfuckers that were in that movie too. There's a lot of fucking. There was a lot of people in that, man. Bill Murray up in there.
What's the name of that movie? It wasn't Funny Farm.
Modern Problems.
Modern Problems, yeah.
I had to look it up.
And one of my favorite, I guess you can call it a horror movie, but is Nothing But Trouble. Tupac Digital Underground's in that, and I do believe that House of a Thousand Corpses is actually loosely based on that film. Yeah. Which is much more serious for sure. But there's a lot of parallels that could be drawn. Yeah. Again, sorry for the hang up, guys. Sorry for the hang up. This is a bit unusual, but that's right. We're gonna pillage through this, man. We're gonna get through this. We got multiple ways to skin a donkey on this show. I got some good questions for Q2, so hopefully we can make this happen. This is gonna be a good one.
I went to his Wikipedia page and face. Really funny. We're usually spies like us.
Yeah. Chandler Stream says, "What's the number?" I'm assuming he's asking for the message number. Hold on, Chandler, we got you. Throw out a question to the pillagers. Pillagers on the live stream. Shout out your favorite brew, if you drink brews. I'm always looking for a new one.
I don't know what's going on.
Is he calling you or no?
He's supposed to join.
Yo,
Hey, what's up, Q? How you doing, man?
chilling, man. What's up?
Good, good. I'm glad we got this figured out, bro.
There we go. What up, Q?
Yeah.
This is Che over here, man.
What up, man? How's everything going?
Good, man. We're just trying to stay cool up in here.
Yeah, it's hot, man. I already told Q. We were talking earlier. So yeah, we're doing the live stream right now to YouTube. So these cats have been hanging in there. Let's get right to it, man. Are you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. Are you on your laptop right now?
No, I'm just on my phone.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna try to get you a little bit louder right now because it's a little quiet. But hang in there. Give me a test right now.
Test 1 2 1 2. What up? What up? What's going down?
There we go.
That's
right?
good. That's
yeah,
good.
That's good.
Yeah.
We just had to adjust my compressor settings, so we're
All
good to go. All right. Let me take a short pause here, and then I'll intro you, and then you'll know when it's time.
All right.
All right, and we're back on the air with your boy Q from Black Hole Banter. Q, man, welcome to the show. We're really glad to have you on here, man.
Yeah, man, it's been a long time coming, man. I'm glad to be a part of the show. Can't wait to get it on and start talking some Raider football.
For sure. Let's set the table a little bit. Tell these guys where they can find you. I know you do more than just a podcast. I know you're on air. So tell them about that and where they can find you on social media.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at all times at @yourboyq254. That's @yourboyq254. And every single day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 3 Central Time, you can find me on ESPN Central Texas, talking all things sports. I mean, everything. And you can catch me all over the place, covering a lot of football because in Texas, as we know, football is king. So yeah, I'm all over the place.
All right, man. He's a busy man.
Hell yeah.
Not only that, but his phone number apparently is very exclusive. Because Q, I tried to call you and your phone was not having it. Your phone was like, "Fuck out of here, B."
It's like, doo-doo-doo. The part of you.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about, man. I don't know what that's about. That's my phone was hating on you, but I'm glad we were able to find a connection.
That's about you reaching a level of exclusivity that I can't hang with.
There
Q.
you go.
But someday I hope to be on your level, dog. And I'm glad we found a way. We found a workaround. And maybe it was Big Brother. They just didn't want us to join forces, dog.
Yeah, probably something like that. Maybe it's just too many nines in my phone number and they weren't having it.
but my brother's got a lot of nines in his phone number. That's a good phone number. I'm not going to release it on air.
No.
And for those of you out there that think it's 999-999-9999, it's not. Good try. You can call it, though. Let us know where that leads you because I'm curious as well. But let's get into it, Q, man. Listening to your show, it's apparent you love this team with unabashed loyalty. Tell us exactly how you became a member of the Raider Nation.
Well, I mean, I'm a Bay Area guy through and through. I mean, I live in Texas right now. I've been here since 2010. Everything's going really well in Texas. But, I mean, first and foremost, I'm a Bay Area guy, and so I'm very loyal to the Raiders, the A's, and the Warriors. It's just how it is. Everybody played in the same area in the Coliseum. And look, that's a whole nother conversation. I don't want to go left right now because I don't want to get angry. But that's just what it is, man. It's just the culture. It's the culture. Yeah. It's the love, the way that you go to a game, and that's what it was, man. Go to a game and just see the way that Castro Valley and Hayward and East Oakland and Fremont and Milpitas and I mean every part of the Bay Area together is all in one area rooting on this team in silver and black and dressed up and partying in the parking lot and spikes on the shoulder. I mean, who doesn't want to be part of something like that? You know what I mean? So that's what it is, man. It's just the culture. It's just something that you see and you just say, I need to be a part of that. Yeah. And so I'm through and through, man. Raider Nation till I die.
That's right.
Fantastic response. I've brought cats to the game that didn't know where their allegiance lied or maybe they rooted for another team. But after seeing that tailgate, it was no question.
Hell no.
They were Raider fans. The other thing that we've seen in the last year or so here is, on our blog, we got a lot of commenters. A lot of them are out of state, and a lot of them are like, they're happy about the Vegas move, and I can get with that. I see where they're standing. I understand the perspective there. We're not going to get into those politics. But we've brought them out to games. They never attended a tailgate in Oakland, and after they left, they were sad about the move. They were like, wow, I get it now.
Yep.
I understand where you locals are coming from. That's sad that y'all are going to lose that because that's a culture that can't be replicated.
Hell no.
No, it can't. Not at all. I mean, there's no duplicating the black hole. And I mean, that's just what it is. And that parking lot and that scene. And that's what I tell everybody, man. That's if you're not a football fan, if you don't know what team to choose that you want to root for, that's fine. Let me take you to your first Raider experience. And I don't call it the game. I call it an experience.
Yeah.
It's more than just that. I mean, just the whole culture out there in the parking lot and everyone, at least for 3.5 hours, loves each other. Now, after they leave the parking lot, that's a whole nother subject. But at least for that time during that game, everyone loves each other and they're in the parking lot high-fiving and dancing and music is playing. And, I mean, it don't matter if it's hip-hop, if it's old school, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's always some music's playing and everyone's having a damn good time. And so that's what it is. If there's ever has a question what team they want
to hear this all the time, bro. They got to hear from every angle, so we appreciate that. But I want to ask you how long you've been doing the Black Hole Banter podcast. The podcast is hot, man. You guys have a lot of fans. I know there's fans that have found our show through your show, and we're hoping to get some of our fans over to your show. What I've been saying, because I've been going on other podcasts and whatnot, and I know a lot of folks out there like to see this as competition, but I like to see it as conversation. As you know, sports, it's a subjective world. Everybody's got a different take and a different perspective. And if you're anything like me, I consume Raiders news on the daily. My appetite does not stop. Chay's appetite does not stop. And so I say tune into as many podcasts as possible, especially here in the Bay as Raider coverage begins to dissipate and it begins to migrate here and there. The good thing about the world that we live in today is we have these things called podcasts, and we get all these different voices on air talking about the thing you love most. And so I'm not going to hate anybody for talking about the Raiders. I'm going to celebrate that. That being said, give us a little bit of history about the Black Hole Banter podcast.
Yeah, man, it was crazy, man. I'm just like you. I was always looking for Raider news, and I was always one of those guys. And growing up, man, I mean, I'm 41 years old right now, but growing up, you know, especially in the heyday when John Gruden was the coach the first time, I always noticed that there was never enough information. There was never enough coverage of the silver and black, and not on ESPN, not on local TV. I mean, it wasn't. And that's when the team was good. You know what I mean? It's like it just was never enough coverage, and it used to make me so angry that this team was not being covered and they were playing their tails off. So that always just kind of drove me crazy and just sat in the back of my mind. And so as I always would search out different information and different means of finding different Raiders news, especially as the more I got into sports radio, I ran across James on Twitter. You know, I had never met the dude at all, but we came across each other on Twitter, and we started bantering back and forth just on different topics. And I realized that, you know what, this isn't one of these guys that just kind of looks through silver and black glasses and everything is rosy and it's all puppy dogs and rainbows. I mean, sometimes it's ugly. There's good, there's bad, there's ugly. Talking about your favorite team, and some people don't ever want to hear that. Some people don't want to hear people being objective. They just want to hear they want me to pump sunshine or something. Well, I'm not that dude. You know what I mean? I'm gonna call it how it is. If I like it or not. You know, I can admit something if it's bad. I can admit something if it's great. I mean, it just is what it is. I'm gonna call it the way I see it. And so me and James kind of developed a relationship just on Twitter, tweeting back and forth with each other, saying, "Dang, man, you got a pretty good perspective there. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, that's a good idea." And then all of a sudden he just presented it one day and was like, "Man, you want to do a podcast?" I was like, "Yeah, no doubt." And the only thing we had to say was, as long as they're going to commit to it, let's do it. So we committed to it, and I think we've been doing it now about 3.5, maybe even almost 4 years. And I mean, it's been rolling, man. It's been a lot of fun, and it's made us come across other people like you guys and your podcast and other people's podcasts, and just to know how much Raider fans there are out there that are seeking Raider information and seeking out more talk about the Raiders. It's a wonderful thing because the family is so large, and that's what it is, man. It's a family.
Yep. Yeah, I'm well put, man. And thanks for the perspective on that. You and James are doing a bang-up job over there. You guys are definitely trailblazers in this game, and we have a lot of respect for you, man. We appreciate what you're doing. Keep doing it. And tell James what's up. We try to get both of you on here, but we're glad to have you on here, Q. I think you're a great voice for the team. And like Steve Corcoran, longtime beat writer for the Oakland Raiders, said when doing the Behind the Raider Shield book, is he wanted to tell the story, warts and all. And I think us as members of the media, independent or not, we have an obligation to do the same thing. We try to keep it real over here too. That's why we got the MVP of the week, and we also got our trash can player of the week. And we're excited. We're excited to bring that segment back as we get into some real football. So, talking about real football, man, what are you most excited about for this season? Are you entering optimistic? Are you cautiously optimistic? Is it a wait and see approach? How does Q stand right now on the precipice of a regular season?
Well, I'll tell you right now, man, I was leading the charge for John Gruden to come back to the Raiders. I mean, I was number one on that bandwagon, and a lot of people trashed me. A lot of people trashed me on my own radio show just because, Gruden doesn't have it. Gruden's just a name. Gruden is overrated, whatever. I was getting dogged left and right, and I said, that's okay, because that's my guy. That is my dude. Yeah. And if anyone could turn this team around and get them where they need to go, I believe it was him just because of the fire. So with him coming back, I'm pumped. I mean, I'm so amped up. Matter of fact, I still have not followed through with my defense will be fine. The defense needs to take that step to be able to make this team a really, really good team. And a lot of great coaches, man. There's a lot of names on that coaching staff, and the Raiders aren't used to having that. That's something that I got to give Gruden a lot of credit for already. He put together one hell of a staff, and and I'm fired up just to see how they operate. So, man, the closer we get to these preseason games, the first one's on Friday, and then once they're done, hopefully there's no injuries, there's no major injuries. That's the thing you cross your fingers about the whole time. You don't want that injury, but after that, man, once the season gets kicked off, it's go time. So I'm really fired up about Chucky coming back and basically proving all the haters wrong that he knows what he's doing.
Well, I'm going to give you a timeline, Q. You got to get that tattoo sealed and done before the regular season starts. And I got another idea for you, bro. I think that you should seize the opportunity and get on the air and try to get a podcast going while that tattoo's happening. That'd be good radio.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. And what took me so long is for the longest I was looking for a place that can actually do the tattoo and do it right and everything. And when I was in the Bay, I had my guy Doug's tattoo in the Bay. He always did my work, and he did a heck of a job. And then when I was in Fresno, I had my guy over at Most Wanted Tattoos. He was doing my stuff. But once I got this, man, I never ever got another tattoo. I never found a place that I wanted to. Well, I finally found a place, and now me and this guy are just trying to get the right time. But it will get done before the season starts, that's for sure. So I'm good to go. We're going to make it happen.
I was going to say, you're in Texas, so branding is always an option. I know they got some brands out there.
No.
You're a smart man. And just to kind of go back a minute, we talked about this on the show a while back. We had posed a question to our host here and actually to some of our callers. What's the most impactful addition this offseason? And we were in an overall consensus that it's actually Paul Guenther. Gruden coming back is exciting. I was the guy saying that Gruden wasn't going to walk through the door only because we hear the hype every offseason. When he finally walked in the door, no doubt I was excited. I think he's going to be a big impact this year. But if we can get back to no less than what 2016 had for this offense, that's a win. But the biggest leap and the biggest jump has to come from the defense. And I agree with you. I think PG is the guy to get that done. And I think that's where you're going to see the biggest improvement on this team. And I think going forward into the postseason, that's the biggest improvement you need to see on this team. So I know radio is boring when everybody agrees, but I gotta agree with you, Q. I think PG is going to be a big addition for this team. And this whole coaching staff is like a veritable who's who right now in the NFL. So
yeah, and that's the thing, man. You don't want to always win track meet games. I mean, it's cool to win it every once in a while. It's cool to win at the last second every once in a while. But it's also cool to be able to shut another team down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's cool to be able to score 18, 20 points and know that you got the victory because, well, Khalil Mack just had 3 or 4 sacks, or this guy's going to pick off the ball to win the game or seal the game. There's something said about defense making a play to finish the game as well. You know what I mean? So Derek Carr was great in 2016. He almost became the MVP. Probably if he hadn't broke his leg, he would have really been in that competition. But, I mean, you can't always rely on him to come through and just win the game at the end. You also have to have the other side of the ball play. So, yeah, that defense really needs to step up. And Guenther, I mean, he's always known what he's done. Wherever he's been as a defensive coordinator, he's done a heck of a job with names that aren't really that big. You know, he really hasn't had guys that are just super studs on the defensive side of the ball, but he knows how to use them correctly. So I'm excited for what they bring, and I'm also excited what I think is really the biggest addition that they've made so far this since Gruden's taken over is there's competition at every position. There is absolutely competition at every position. Not one guy thinks, "Oh man, well I don't have to work. My job is good. I'm straight." No, there's competition everywhere. Hell, the punter or the kicker just got waived. You know what I mean? Trevecchio just got waived. And so that just shows you that there's competition everywhere. If you aren't out there and you're not busting your tail every practice and showing your worth, there's a chance that you might lose your job. John Gruden just called out Martavis Bryant, and he gave up a 3rd-round pick for him. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there is competition at every position, and clearly John Gruden has no problem calling out any of these guys on the team if they're not working the way they should be working, if they're in the training room too much, if they're not, exceeding his expectations, he's going to call you out and try to get you to that level. That's something that we haven't been able to get used to. We haven't been able to see that from prior coaches.
So speaking of the defense and competition at positions, the one guy that's not there competing right now is Khalil Mack. Obviously, this is the hot button topic right now in Raider Nation. What's your take on the Mack situation? And then I guess the back end of that question is worst case scenario. Now, from what I've heard, this is not going to happen. But worst case scenario, can the Raiders defense hold their own without Khalil Mack?
No. I think that they can maybe hold their own in a few games here or there, but they need their enforcer. They need their guy. They need the guy that the other team's offensive coordinators are worried about the night before. You know, their offensive line coaches are worried about the night before. He's the guy that keeps you up at night. And so they need him. They need him 100%. I think it'll get done at some point. Obviously, like to see him in camp now, especially with Paul Gunn. D coordinator would love to see him getting familiar with him, but apparently he's got film. Apparently he's working with his own self, and he's doing his own thing. Bruce Irvin said that he talks to him all the time. So, I mean, that's positive, but it just kind of stinks that, you got this new regime in there and your best player is not there, and he definitely needs to be there. At some point it'll get done. I'm just not sure when.
Right. It's looking like what I'm hearing from inside the organization, he should show up by the time preseason starts, but I'm also hearing that this deal's probably not going to get done until next year. Bottom line is, Khalil, we need to get you in here. My gut tells me this is not his decision to hold out. If you look at Segal's track record, this is all his agent. So it's going to get done. I mean, Mac wants to be with his teammates. He's talking to Irvin every day. He's playing pool. He's playing basketball in the pool. Derek Carr. This is not a guy that doesn't want to be around his teammates. This is just business. Raider Nation, don't panic. Holdouts happen every single year. And more often than not, a deal gets done. The player gets back with the team. Khalil Mack, he's a silver and black dude. He's going to be around for a long time. So don't worry about that, Raider Nation. I'm here to tell you. Q's here to tell you. Chase already told you. Khalil Mack's going to be a Raider. But
hell yeah.
I don't want to spend too much time on this because it's at this point it's a dead horse. We're going to keep beating it until he shows up. So let's move forward here. The Raiders secondary has been the Achilles heel for some time now. This is a personnel group that at one time made the Raiders famous. It made the Raiders feared, but for a long time now, it's probably the softest part of this team. It's gone through a major overhaul this season. There's guys that are coming back from injury. There's guys that have been added to this, and there's guys that are still sticking around. So what's your gut feeling about this personnel group, and who do you see emerging as the starters?
I like the competition at all the positions for the secondary, and I love the fact that Derek Ansley is the secondary coach. I think that was a great move by Gruden, bring him in from Alabama. And I've heard everything that he's been saying about the jump from college to the NFL and how he just loved the opportunity to go and do that. And I think that's going to really help the Raiders out. But when you look at who the starters are, I'm assuming Melvin's going to be a starter. And I'm assuming Conley's going to be a starter, but then Conley can't get on the field or he can't stay on the field. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, man. I was at the draft when the Raiders picked him. I was standing right there at the bottom of the steps in Philadelphia, and I was pissed. I will tell you, I was pissed. I was furious, and I will own that until I go to my grave. This dude might turn out to be Charles Woodson 2.0 for all I know. But I was pissed, and I'll probably stay pissed until, like I said, until I go to my grave. I didn't like that I felt like they reached at that point to pick him. He had too much baggage going on. I didn't think any other team was going to make that move. And for some reason, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, for some reason, as good as Reggie McKenzie has done as far as cleaning up the cap, obviously drafting some players that end up becoming franchise players, Derek Carr and Khalil Mack, Gabe Jackson, so on and so forth. He's got some good draft picks. Some reason, when he drafts corners, it just doesn't work out. It just doesn't seem like it works out. And there's plenty of time for Conley. He might turn around. And things might be okay, and he might get on the field. And like I said, he might be a 10-time All-Pro, and who knows. But it just seems like he can't get on the field to save his life. He'll go on the field for a couple days, and then all of a sudden he's banged up or he's out. Now he's out with a hip strain. And it's like, come on. At what point is it like, damn, are you serious?
Right.
So
right.
He is so frustrating to me. And again, if he turns out to be something great, then everything will be forgotten. And hey, that was the greatest pick ever. But man, I'll tell you right now, everything I do, I go with my gut. And my gut feeling on this one has never been good. And it's still not good.
Yeah, I think the frustrating part of it is Conley's not just the guy. He's the guy that went healthy this year in camp, in OTAs. The coaching staff's really high on this guy. So there's potential there. You know that the next great corner might be dare I say, right around the corner, but he can't get on the field, So I see, and I sense your frustration, and I think we're right there with you. I think the rest of Raider Nation's right there with you. And the other frustrating part of this, as McKenzie said himself, this is not a guy that's had a history of injury. Neither is Obi,
Right.
but here we are, So fingers crossed that he can get back in time for those scrimmages with the Lions. And hell, man, maybe put him on bubble wrap for that first game. He's not going to see a lot of action in that first game anyways. As long as he can get back by the third week of preseason and show us something, I feel good about that. At this point, handle him with kid gloves. Make sure the kid's as healthy as he can be. He sounds like he's got the right attitude. He's a smart guy. The physical ability is there, but can he stay healthy? That's the question. Moving on, I wanted to ask you about your expectations for Gruden or Carr, but I think we got that from you earlier on. What I do want to ask you, though, and I know you're a Gruden fan. We are too, but there's a lot of knocks on Gruden, right? And you can believe who you want.
Of course, yeah.
But one of them is over the long haul. Is he wears thin on players, especially veteran players. After a while, maybe the shtick gets old, or maybe he just doesn't know when to let off, and maybe that's changed. But what's your feeling on Gruden over the long haul? Now, we know this is a 10-year contract. Will he be around for 10 years? We don't know. But what's your feeling about John Gruden, past the first 3 years?
Now, see, that's the thing, man. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's going to – honestly, and this is, again, I go with my gut. I've been telling people on my radio show, I don't know if he's going to even make the trip to Vegas. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know, because it just seems like, just from everything he's been saying, and people have asked him multiple times about, well, what do how do you feel about the team going to Vegas? And all he keeps saying is, well, I just care about right now. We're in Oakland, and I'm trying to win a championship for Oakland in the next couple of years. You know what I mean? Like, that's all he keeps saying. So I'm assuming that he's going to be there in Vegas, but we just don't know. I mean, he's in his 50s now. He might go out there and have some early success and decide, hey, I've done what I need to do. I'm done. Or he might, decide, okay, this is fun. Let's go on to Vegas and keep it going.
Yeah.
I think he has the energy to keep it going and be kind of like Pete Carroll is. I mean, I really do. I could see him being that guy. I don't think he'll wear thin on the veteran players, just because I think he's learned a little bit from his first time as a coach. You know what I mean? I think he's picked up what he might have done wrong that kind of made people angry or pissed people off, or, just didn't sit well with people. And I think he realizes, okay, this athlete or this generation of NFL players is not the generation that I could just climb all up their tree and get all over them and tell them about themselves and everything. That I actually have to be careful with how I treat these guys. Not saying that that's the right approach, or the approach that I like to see, but we just know that that's what it is now. Guys aren't the same guys that they were back in the 70s and 80s and 90s. I mean, this is a different generation of player now. I mean, these players have more control, and they have more say so than half the coaches do in the league. So you really, kind of like you mentioned earlier with kid gloves, you almost have to approach them with kid gloves and kind of figure out how everyone operates and how everybody's wired, and everybody's not the same. And, that was the biggest question with Gruden. Oh, Carr's not going to be able to handle him. He's going to alienate Carr so early. Well, they get along just fine right now, but they haven't gone through any adversity yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
it's true.
Everybody gets along until they don't get along. You know what I mean? So, it's when you hit that rough stretch, that 4-game losing streak, or, 3 interceptions, that's when, okay, how is this going to work out? And honestly, I don't like Greg Olson as an offensive coordinator, but I think that he was brought back as a buffer. I think he was brought back as kind of the in-between guy, the guy who kind of knows how to talk to Carr a little bit better than Chucky might know how to talk to him right now. Even though they're getting along fine right now, they're still just in practice. They're still in training camp. They're just doing stuff like that. They're not in the heat of the moment, the games. There may come a time in the game where Greg Olson has to go to Chucky and say, I got this. Don't worry, I got this. Let me go talk to DC. Right. I think that's a major key and a major reason why Greg Olson is on the staff right now.
Yeah,
definitely.
Olson's just a QB whisperer, right? Back in the old Gruden days, Callahan, he was just in charge of calling run plays. He was basically an offensive line coach. at that time. And I think that's what Olsen is. Olsen was key in getting Carr, to understand the proper footwork, how to set his body, what position he needs to be in different situations. So I think you're right in that term. He's the buffer. He's Carr. Carr refers to him as Ole. They obviously have a great reputation. So I feel good about it. I feel good about the whole situation. We'll see how it all plays out. I'm also hearing that, the Raiders, this might be their last year in Oakland. As you know, the lease is up this year. Neither side really wants to play ball with each other, and I'm talking about the city of Oakland. I'm talking about the Oakland Raiders. So we'll see what next year has in store. But like Coach Gruden said, whether it's coaches speak or it's the reality, we're going to focus on this year, and we're going to enjoy the hell out of the Raiders playing in Oakland and see what can get done. Now, you recently stated on your show that you'd be a top candidate for the Raiders sideline reporter job. You'd be up against some big competition, Q. Give us your audition right now. Here's your scenario. Donald Penn re-injures his foot, heads for the sideline. The booth cuts to you. Go.
Dang, just put me on the spot. Well,
bro, you said you could do the job.
Oh, well, let's do this. The deal is I do sideline reporting now. So, yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with it, but I would love to do it for my favorite team. But, hey, Donald Penn goes down with a major injury. Hey, Link, you know how it is on the offensive line. The big man's down with another foot injury. That's not good. That's Derek Carr's blind side. This is something that we need to continue to monitor moving forward. The young rookie, Colton Miller, is going to have to step in right now and take his place. I'll continue to monitor. I'll talk to some of the coaches and see how serious the injury is, and I'll get right back to you. That's just what I do on the fly.
That's great. That's a great job. Hell yeah. And I got to applaud you for avoiding the sports cliche. It's next man up.
Next man up.
He avoided that.
Yeah, he did.
That was good. That was good. Good job.
He has to get in there, bro.
I'd hire Q.
Hell yeah.
That was good.
Hell yeah, that was good. The pressure was on, man.
Yeah,
the pressure was on.
Just while we're on it, I got to echo your sentiments about Link. I think that's a great job for Link. I think he's going to do well up there.
Hell yeah.
We've had Link on the show a couple times. Got to hang out with him at the tailgate. Just a great dude. I'm really excited about that. Not excited about the Musburger thing, but it's a placeholder. We won't get into that. But seeing Link up there, that's a great step forward.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it is. It is. I'm pissed about the pop-up firing, but I get it. It is what it is. I can move on from it at this point.
Yeah.
And Musburger, like you said, he's a placeholder. So all right, whatever.
Yeah. Who knows, bro? That might be you. So you just gotta toe the company line, bro.
Don't get me started, man. Don't get me started. I'm telling you.
So we're coming to the end of the interview here. This is the time where we like to sort of diverge from the football topics and go a different route, get a little more personal.
That's right.
So we talked offline about your music interest. Give me your top 5 MCs alive today. They have to be living.
Oh my God. Okay, well then
I'm taking Sean Price off the board. I'm taking Tupac off the board. I'm taking Biggie off the board. Let's go.
That's cold game. All right, well I guess Jay-Z's got to definitely be at the top then for me. Wow.
That's one.
Yeah, I know. Does Outkast count as 1 or 2?
I'll give it to you as 1.
Okay, that's fine.
That's fair.
Because Outkast before Erykah Badu was amazing. So
she changes people, bro. She changes people.
Erykah Badu got in a lot of people's heads, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'll go Jay-Z. I'll go Outkast. Oh man, dang, this is tough. I got to show some Bay Area love, man. So I'm gonna go with Let me ride with 40.
Okay.
All right.
Because that's my Bay Area. That's my guy. Let me show some LA love. Let me go with not NWA. They're dead. Let's go with Ice Cube. All right, let's go with Ice Cube because he's still alive.
Strong.
Yeah.
Oh man, and then give me one more. Jeez, that's tough. I need one more.
Well, how about Chuck D? We could throw Chuck D in there.
Public Enemy.
Oh yeah.
KRS-One.
Let's just roll with Public Enemy. That's good. I like Public Enemy too. That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I could do that. I could do that.
Got
That's
that
a good list.
Yeah.
Got that connection with Ice Cube there, so
Right, exactly. Yeah, I'm an old school dude, man. This new stuff, I had to bow out of hip hop radio after a while just because I couldn't take it anymore, man. So
maybe I'll try to shoot you some recommendations because it's good, but you got it, man. anybody can make music now, so you really got to dig.
Right.
But
True.
Exactly.
True.
Exactly.
I was with you. I'm on my hip hop kick again, so maybe I can, send you some gems and get that spirit flowing again. Because I
There
feel
you go.
Like Onyx said on a recent album, Sticky Finger said, hip hop never died. It just got shot in the stomach.
It did.
Right.
Woo.
Yes.
That's the truth right there.
Bars.
Man. That's truth right there.
Yes.
Bars.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
Yeah. Back in, I think it was 2009, Onyx released a record called Wake the Fuck Up.
Right.
Got 5 mics in the source. Nobody
Nice.
listened to it.
Nobody listened to it.
Right.
So.
Of course not. Of course not. You know how that goes.
So one more question, because we love talking about food here. Raider Nation is a hungry fan base. Okay. You're from the Bay. You live in Texas now. Texas is known for its barbecue. What's your go-to spot where you're at right now? Where do you, don't tell me your backyard. Everybody says that. If you're going to go out and eat barbecue, where are you going to go?
Oh man, there's so many good spots out here. That's one thing I can say, man. Texas has a lot of damn good barbecue. Oh man, let me think. There's a spot. It's about 45 minutes from where I live in Belton, Texas, called Miller's Barbecue. Miller's is off the chain. It is really, really good. Brisket is soft as, oh man. I mean, you don't have to have teeth to be able to eat it. You know what I mean? It's so damn good. And
Gum that motherfucker down.
Hey man, I'm a brisket and links guy. You know what I mean? I like all that stuff. Brisket, links. Give me a lot of sauce and I'm straight. So yeah, I'll say Miller's is my go-to spot. Like I said, it's about 45 minutes from my house. On my way to I go to a D3 game all the time. UMHB is a college out here that I cover. And on the way to the game, I always stop and get some Miller's barbecue. So that's kind of traditional.
Ooh. See, if you're recommending a spot 45 minutes away from your front door, I know it's fine.
It's legit. It's legit.
Exactly.
You ain't gonna drive 45 minutes
Yeah.
to have some bunk ass barbecue. Come on, man.
Exactly. But I'll tell you what, man. If I'm in the Bay and I'm getting some barbecue, I'm going to Everett and Jones, man. Those are my people,
There you
man.
go.
Everett and
There you
Jones
go.
are my people. I got to show them a lot of love. I spent a lot of time there in Hayward, California at Everett and Jones, so I got to shout them out.
So Kane, who's one of our co-producers, he has a weekly call-in on the show. He lives out there in the East Bay. He grew up out there. And we've talked about Everett and Jones on the show before. I had a bad experience, but apparently I went to the worst location. I went to the one, I think it was over on University Ave, somewhere there on the border of Berkeley and Oakland. And I've heard that's not the spot to go to. They got a brand new shiny spot over in Jack London. I've been meaning to try that out. I'm willing to give them a second shot because most people I talk to from the Bay, they recommend Everett and Jones. So you don't get that many recommendations without being good. I just went to a bad spot. And barbecue's like that, man. It's not a type of food that lends itself to consistency.
No.
That's
And
hard.
again, man, the one I went to always was that one right there in Hayward, man. It was right off the 880, man, and that one was always on point. So yeah, go try that one out.
All right, man. That's good. That's good to know. I'm gonna
Food
go try it.
recommendations.
Yeah. And going to get the barbecue before doing the game, that's a risky move because you could catch the itis.
Yeah, that's real
Yeah,
risky.
but see, I do sideline reporting, so I'm always walking up and down
There
the
you go.
sideline the whole time. So I keep it moving, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that is the problem with having too much good barbecue before the game. If it's not a good fast-paced moving game, I could tend to get stuck in one spot for a minute. That's not good.
Yeah. Well, it's good, man. The man's got a plan. He's got a tradition.
Hell yeah.
He's got it down, man.
Hey,
Q's got
Yes,
it down.
sir.
keep it up, man. Keep with the tradition.
Yeah, man. Got to do it.
Che, you got anything for Q before we get up out of here?
Oh man, I kind of want to revisit. I wanted to revisit the defense, man. So my real quick question was, we were speaking about the defense. The Raiders haven't shut anybody out since 2012. That was against the Chiefs.
Right.
Do we get our first shutout since 2012 this season? And if so, against who?
Good question. Wow.
Good. It is a good question, but I don't think that shut really realistic. You know what I mean? I don't think that we're really in the shutout business anymore. You know what I mean? Even really good defensive teams, like really strong defensive teams, you're not seeing their shutout teams very often either. You know what I mean? Like you find ways to score, especially in the passing league that the league is right now.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like all in all, you're going to find a way to score. So for the Raiders to answer the question, no, I don't think that they get a shutout. I think that the defense is much improved. I think it's really going to start with that interior line. The fact that they're going to have some guys that can get a push. Mo Hurst, PJ Hall, whoever's in there, man. I like PJ Hall a lot. Just want to go ahead and put an asterisk next to him. I don't know when he's gonna be that guy, but I think PJ Hall is gonna be a stud. And I guarantee this is one thing I will tell you that's gonna happen this year. He will block a field goal attempt. At least one this year. PJ Hall will block. You can mark that down.
I like it.
Mark it down.
Yeah, that's his forte. That's kind of gotten lost in the mix again. I know when he was drafted, we were talking about that. Everyone's excited about Hall. I'm glad he brought that up because that's a factor.
Yep. It is.
That's
Hell yeah, it's a factor. That's a point, bro.
Yeah.
That's a point, if not 3.
Exactly. He'll at least save 3 points. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So he's going to make it happen.
That interior rotation is going to be lethal. I mean, you got Ellis, you got Vanderdoes, you got Hurst, you got Hall.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming at you this year.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a lot more improved. I don't think we'll see any shutouts, but it'll be a lot more improved, or at least it should. If it doesn't, then things went terribly wrong.
Okay.
Q, expectations were high. You exceeded those.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I try to deliver every time. You know what I mean? Like, you're only as good as your last show.
There you go. There you go.
It's true. This is true.
So that's what we do.
It's been a pleasure, brother. Everybody listening, make sure you check out Black Hole Banter. There's enough podcasts to fill up your entire week. And if you're a Raider fan, you want Raiders all the time. Plenty of space for that. Again, it's conversation, not competition. Check them out. You can find them anywhere podcasts are found. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. iTunes, all that good stuff. You can just Google it. You'll find it.
All right, word, man. It was great talking to you, Q. We'll catch you on the other side, and hopefully we can talk to you again this regular season. Go Raiders.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just win, baby. It's been a pleasure being on the show with you guys, man. You fellas keep doing a good job. You're doing great.
Thank you,
sir.
brother.
Peace.
All right, peace.
That was fun, man.
Hell yeah.
That was good.
Hell yeah.
Good. Let's keep it moving, man. We'll have a chance for you and I to talk about this off the air, but let the listeners talk about it off the air.
Yeah.
That was an incredible interview.
That was great, man.
Yeah.
It's great.
So check out Black Hole
Great.
Banter. Q's a busy dude, as you know. He's doing sideline reporting. He's got a radio show. He's got the podcast. Q's living the dream, dog.
He is.
Yeah.
We're trying to live the dream too. Just letting you guys know.
I'd catch
Just in
the
case
itis.
somebody's listening.
I'd catch the itis, man. Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to eat a rack of ribs and then go out and do some sideline reporting. I'm just saying, man.
He does it like a soldier.
I need to take a break, bro.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, in case anyone's listening, we're trying to live the dream too. But, yeah, man, so usually I'm kind of out of sorts here because we usually take a break after our guests, but we're going to treat this as if it were Kane's Corner. Again, Kane is abroad right now. He's living his best life.
That's right.
That's what the kids are saying
That's
these
right.
days. Right.
Living my best life.
That's the new hashtag, right? So let's get right into it, man. This is the old injury update.
Oh, yeah.
Gabe Jackson left practice early this week, but walked off on his own accord. So that's good news. I'm not really hearing anything about this. Have you heard what the injury is?
I didn't hear what I don't know what exactly it is. I would assume maybe it's like an ankle, maybe tweak the ankle or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, don't quote me on that because I didn't hear the official report.
Yeah, I don't think any details have been released on that, so we're all in the dark, I think, on that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound too serious, but then again, not hearing anything at all in Raiders world, sometimes a bad sign. But at least we got Feliciano in there. We got some depth at the line, so for now, we'll ride with that. Gabe's not a guy that needs to get up to speed or get all these reps in the preseason, so Gabe, rest up, man, get healthy, get the big guy back out here, and he'll be ready to go week one, I'm pretty sure of it. Eric Harris, man, his name's been flying around this offseason.
It has.
Fractured a finger.
Yes, he did.
Didn't saw it off.
Ronnie Lott.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Got surgery. He's expected back on Monday.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Eric, man, keep doing your thing. You're having a great camp so far. You weren't a guy that I expected to crack the roster early on, but, man, the coaches keep talking about you. I keep getting excited, so nothing bad there.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Donald Penn expected to be close, as is Eddie Vanderdoes. Bars. Both guys started training camp on the PUP list. They're not going to rush Penn back. In the meantime, Colton Miller, man, Penn's he's on notice right now.
That's right. He is. But you know what though? Gruden said, you know what? Penn, he's still got a ways to go to get back.
Yeah.
But it's only upside. There's only upside to having him back, right? Because And so I think somebody asked him, like, what happens if Penn comes back? If Penn comes back, does that mean Miller switches over to right? He's like, we're not really thinking about that. We're working Miller at the left. If Penn comes back, that's a great situation to be in.
Yeah.
Right?
Good answer.
It is. It's true.
Good answer. And then lastly, as we just talked about, Conley recently participated in camp walkthroughs, which is a good sign, as noted by Coach Gruden. However, Gruden was hesitant to change Conley's timeline. Probably a good thing, right? There's that kid gloves thing. But if he were to return on the normal 2-week timeline that we've been given, this would put him in live scrimmages against the Lions, because don't forget, we're doing live practices against Detroit. Prior to playing against Detroit in the team's preseason opener, starters usually play 1, maybe 2 series.
That's right.
Don't panic if Conley's not out there. That's just him. Hey, look, kid, we don't need you going out there and re-injuring or re-aggravating.
Nope. We don't.
I would realistically expect Conley to come back week 2 preseason.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that's fair.
So don't panic on that. It's time for your favorite segment, Shay.
I see you.
Yeah. Really quick, the good doc right here. He just messaged us on Twitter. He wants to know if we can please name the episode Hoe Garden. Doc, I would say we would, but that conversation happened off the air. But you can, refer to it as that.
The Hoe Garden episode.
Yeah, you can, amongst your friends and stuff.
Oh, man.
So this I see you. You want to reset that?
I see you.
Thank you. This comes from 303 Raider. 303 Raider, we're going to see him when we go out to Denver. 303, as you know, is an area code out there in Denver. He's a big Raider fan. Also an original Pillager. He's been on the blog for some time now. Known for some hot takes.
Yeah.
This one's pretty hot. He says, Derek Carr better man up and stop breaking bones. We need the 2016 version, not the pussy we saw last year. I want to respond to this.
Respond, man.
I see Chay's face.
Respond.
He wants to respond. 2 responses on the blog today. One was by me. I told 303, I made the decision 20 years ago to stop breaking my own bones. Best decision I ever made. Because as you know, we all have a choice in the matter.
I mean, yeah.
St. Homer. Now, I gotta set the table here and let you know that Homer and 303, they have some history. So let me just say that. He said, you've made some dumbass comments. This takes the checkered flag by far. 303, I get where you're coming from on this, but it was not Carr's decision to get injured. He broke like 3 bones in his back vertebrae.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't miss a snap of practice. Got back out there.
Yep.
Toughed it out in an offensive scheme that sucked.
Yep.
That we know sucked and basically, resulted in cleaning house.
Yep.
And now John Gruden coming aboard. I want to know exactly at what point was Derek Carr being a pussy.
Exactly.
Shay, do you want to get him?
I mean, come on, man. Yeah, breaking bones. Last time I checked, breaking bones was like a sign of being a badass, right? Like growing up, if you went out, you were riding your BMX, you ate shit and you broke something, like you were a badass from that point forward, right? All of a sudden, breaking bones in the NFL is a sign of being a pussy. I mean, I don't know where you're coming from, bro. I don't know where you were raised. Apparently, you must have a metal rod in your leg, maybe a silver shoulder.
That'd be cool.
Some rivets in your forehead. I don't know what. Shit. Transformer over here, bro.
So 303, I don't mean to come out, first a dog pile on you. I know you're not on the show to defend yourself, but call in next week. You've been absent from the callers. I know you've been busy. You're out there living your best life. I see you and the family. You guys are busy, having a great summer. I think that's awesome. I love the picks. You guys are doing cool stuff. I'm going to see you in Denver. I'm looking forward to that. But I need you to call in and defend this take, bro. Were you just stirring the pot, or do you really feel like that? Because I think Derek Carr's pretty tough, man.
Yeah.
And I think considering the fact that he knows everybody in front of him had bought out of the system, and yet he was still in there.
It's true.
Trying to live his best life.
It's true.
I mean, I know he looked like a deer in the headlights at times, but we all did.
Yep.
I mean, we really did. That coaching staff, nobody was going into games with any kind of faith, and yet he went out there with 3 broken vertebrae and try to do the best he could.
Yep.
So I had to put you on blast, dog. I'm sorry. I apologize. No bad blood. Also, let me take this time to apologize for the fact that when you came on the show as a guest, me and Shay were drunk out of our minds. And I'm just going to admit to that. And so we owe you one there, dog. Juice is here right now. He actually reminded me of that episode. I think he was the one of 20 people that actually listened to that episode. It was a hot mess, but you know what? Che and I had a good time.
It was a good episode, man.
And we're doing it again this month when we bring the Drink Take guys on, so deal with it. YouTube, I don't know how we're going to get around that.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
It's going to be a hot one.
It's going to be a hot one. So that's the ICU segment for the week. Sorry, YouTube. I know we've been trying to pull ICU comments from the section, but I had to get to that. I hope you guys appreciate that. It's time to do some shout-outs, though.
Shout-outs!
Shout out to 5150 Forever, GSS16, Lucas D. Uribe, Thomas Banda, James Farrell, Shawnee 555. Shout out to Sarek, Black Hole Sun, Vince Carlos, Rolly Doobies, Sean Pfeiffer, Nick Black, Gustavo Aguirre, Carlo J. 50, Matt Elkins, Jordan Escobedo, Joy Bates, Daniel Infante, Digging the Wall. Shout out to Johnny Vulture, RK Roadrunner, Raider Biz, Manny Dude 34, Ryan McKenna, Aaron Scoma, 626 Marcos, Trip, Jason Holbert, Mr. Flores 530, Dusty D. Peters, Guillermo Juan Ibarra, Eugene Gomez, Sly Tendencies. Shout out to Kenny. That wasn't me, but I see you. Shout out to Big Country 83. Mo money, mo money, mo money. Shout out to Armenta 94111. Craw Raider 72. Crossbones. Noe De Leon. Jared Christie. Tony Fatso. Mark Roth. Allende Mitchell. Pinche Anthony. Pinche Anthony.
Pinche Anthony.
Juice got a shirt right now that says Pinche Puro Raiders. So.
Puro Pinche Raiders, bro.
There you go. There you go. Raider Faithful 5, Noel Jenkins, shout out to you, man. Keep it a real positive. I'll see you. Real Shay Lewis, Chuki 555, and Alex Sharplin on Twitter. Special shout out to Dirt Lot from PJ4F for hooking up the tickets, bro. I can't say it enough. Thank you. Big shout out to all my pillagers on PJ4F.com, man. We've been holding it down for some time, and we're going to keep doing this. This blog is for you guys, man, and anybody else that wants to jump in the pool, please do so. Just keep in mind, we got some sharks in there, bro. Shout out to your boy Q.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with your boy Che.
No.
Or your boy Kane. Or your boy Kenny. Shout out to Q, man. We see all of you on 11/11/18 for our annual Pillager meetup. We're looking forward to that.
Hell yeah.
Bust it.
Instagram, we got two. Just two, okay? Mr. Ravillo and shout out to Damien8801. Thank you guys for the follows, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And Radio, that's a double dip, man. You followed us last week on Twitter. You found us on Instagram. We appreciate the hard work.
That's right.
Yeah. We're a little bit slow on the Insta. We're not like a graphic-based thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nope.
We got faces for radio.
Yeah, we do. We do. Especially today, I'm unshaven, man. And I got to go to the restroom, too, like a mug.
All right, let's get up.
You know.
Let's get up out of here. That's it for this week's show. Tune in every week wherever podcasts are found. Call and leave a message to be played on air. 408-909-PJFF. Get dipped in pillaging gear. Head over to pj4f.com/shop. We got new t-shirts coming at you soon. I'm trying to wrap it up. Download the official Pillaging app for iOS and Android. I'm Kenny Stapler, joined as always
by your boy Che.
And we out here. Peace.
Peace.
Go Raiders.
Touchdown Raiders.
Oh, dude. Woo! I was squeezing.